can play it pretty aggressive, is something that, particularly on this map, might be a little bit underrated with the rotations. You know, it's a 3-site map, so, you know, you can definitely apply pressure in certain parts of the map and then hit that gate crash over towards the other side, or be able to reposition a little bit faster on the defense. And Haven is all about being fluid, so we'll see how things go. Early on here, you are getting a pretty big stack up towards this C site for ARF team, and Fancy is looking like they want to be heading in that direction. So looks like Forced Out going to take that first contact, and we'll see how he goes on the jet.
First contact for the first round of night number 2, stage number 2. And already looking down towards C-Long right there, looking to cross the line, but just getting a little bit of that info nice and early on. Goes for the swing, goes for the shot. Fosdale actually will be able to connect with that one. Yes, I can. Does get the trade out. Now Foxy up in towards position. Did manage to use that gate crash to close the gap. And Woody also picking up another one in the position as well. So 3 versus 2. Twilight, yes, I can. Very, very low. And I don't know if they're going to be able to drag this one through, Mitch. This is a rough one.
Yeah, I mean, the setup already made it quite difficult for them. You saw a lot of damage as they line up towards C-Long there. Dark cover being considered there by Scar. Nathan having a little bit of a look in towards the middle of the map. Fancy slowing this one down. Trying to see if they can isolate a pick elsewhere, but with such low HP, they have pretty limited options. They are going to choose the right of those options. So, creeping back towards this A side of the map. It's a completely open site for them. Darts up. Do have a cam and a cage to work with for Twilight, so there are opportunities here for Fancy, but given the man advantage that ARF has and the fact that they've got full belts of util, you've got the recon dart and the shockies, which could take out either of these players. Left. Fault line, flash, and both smokes. It's going to be a pretty difficult retake to defend for Fancy, even if they can get themselves into a nice little post plant here.
Yeah, and with ARF just sort of sitting back, waiting for the plant to go down, 100%ing out the round. It's a really good option for them. So they're going to group up, not worry about that utility for just a second. As now they manage to get just outside a link. They are starting to make a couple of footsteps, dark cover out to give them safe passage. And a flash as well. So yes, I can. Has to rely on them going in towards this dark cover here. Twilight also spotted by Nathan. So very nicely done there from ARF team. They will be able to lock out that first round relatively cleanly. It was an interesting duel out towards C-Long, but yeah, whilst there was some opening fights, it just didn't quite go the way of Fancy.
Yeah, lost in the opener really. Too low to try to make that 2-on-3 work, so good start for ARF team. Plant goes down for Fancy though, which is going to give them a little bit more access to some creds here. We'll see how they choose to spend those. You know, round 2 forces, not too common, but a little bit of investment, getting some buckies going for the Neon. Very common choice at the moment. Couple of sheriffs do some economic damage if they can. At least for ARF team here, a lot of sets of light armor as well, so definitely potential for these one-shot sheriff shots in the head that ranges. Dark cover towards a long. Dark does actually scan quite a few players there, so Nathan well aware that it's a little bit of pressure in towards a lobby, but Fancy walking together as a team. Woody in rotation with a whole belt of util, but Nathan needs to do what he can to be able to hold this one down. Neon's going to slide past him. Paranoia comes through from the B side. Really nice util here from ARF team just to keep Fancy at arm's length.
One enemy
really great
remaining.
shots there from Nathan as well. Fosdale will be able to find him, and now Woody getting that final frag too. So really, really well played there. Waiting a little bit of extra time to make sure that they can isolate the duels, not overextending into the pistols. And yeah, again, a nice counter eco there from ARF, not really losing out on a whole lot. And now they can go in with a pretty strong bonus against those Vandals and Phantoms. But yeah, crispy shots to open up the bank account.
Getting a lot of kills on the agents you'd want to be seeing them on as well. Quite close to a Hunter's Fury. Farming up Rolling Thunder as well. Bonus here for ARF team. Only 2 players with the light armor, so the Outlaw not even going to really be on the right part of the map here. Posted up towards top side of big site. It's a bit of a lean towards B and C early on. Shock taken, trip taken back there towards the top side of C-Long there. A main control is the name of the game here for Fancy. Nathan pushed off the line once again. Rotation coming in from Forced Out. Gonna re-clear A long here with the drone. Only spots the Neon. Fancy really controlling what information they show towards ARF team as they head back towards grass. You've got the camera up for Twilight, but here's Forced Out aggressing on the timing.
Will he be able to split the wickets here? Already having a little bit of a look. They are so posted, but Fosdale does find Cruz. A little bit of an awkward line to be dropping down the dark cover there, so unfortunately, both players, despite being up there, do miss the shot. They will trade it eventually. Foxy able to find that shot back, but now it's on to this other side of the map where Twilight's found a little bit of space into window.
Yeah, that's the last dark cover, though. No smokes left here for Fancy. They've dropped off the Cypher in towards Garage Window. Scar looking to re-clear that, gathering the information. Paranoia goes forward, trying to bait out a couple of shots, but isolates Twilight nicely. The rest of Fancy now trying to get back into the A side, but Nathan just going to be happy to play the numbers and play retake here. ARF still with a lot of utility to get a good retake going, and Fancy just contacting on with 20 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Waiting for that spike to go down. It's going to be still a relatively challenging post plant and retake for ARF. Starting to slowly creep their way back in. Once more, all members coming from defender side spawn here. Trying to utilize that fake out to the overdrive after shock. That's, yeah, I don't know. Foxy just kind of sitting there with his pants down. Now, yes, I can. Inside that dark cover, just going to have to wait. Does have the recon bolt available, but yeah, it's just going to be so challenging, hoping that they'll line up. 1, 2. Will he get the third? He gets him off the defuse, but no, he doesn't. Sticks it for long enough, and yeah, that was just good enough for ARF. I don't know, Fancy. I just don't feel like they played that post plan as the best they could have.
Yeah, getting caught by a fair bit of util there. Good stuff from ARF team. Some pretty questionable moments in this round for Fancy United, has to be said. But yes, I can's always good for a couple of. Not too surprising to see that man multi-fracking in the post plant. He's been a standout on this Fancy United roster for quite a while. And I thought I saw some whisperings that he was headed elsewhere at some point during this off-season. But apparently he's playing for Fancy now, so might not be the case.
It's only been the primary constant for this roster since, you know, as long as I can remember. Since losing the last 2 members from the consistent team, it's just really him left on this Fancy roster.
Go, go, go.
All right. Back on in, Mitch. Looking for another one near. Trying to find that breach shot. Does actually connect with it in the end, but look at Scar picking up 2. Does get traded out to at the very least. They are going to be on towards the side, but Nia trying to pick up another knife and does get the shot back. The relay bolt is going to make it really, really awkward. Nia needs to be careful. He overextends here. Yeah, a little bit dangerous to go facing that outlaw, but look, ultimately, Fancy, they found a lot with just these pistols so far. And now, yes, I can. Player we were talking about just a second ago has the Hunter's Fury for the post plant. Is going to be able to lock down that spike plant on C.
Darts coming back up in 5. Forced out a little out of position here. Half buy is already a win. If you can get a 1v1 to top it off, that's going to be fantastic. Yes, I can. Clearing out the flank. Not going to commit to the garage wrap. Forced out, making his way on through here. No cloud burst to be able to try to get this half. And with the dart coming back up, this is looking like a very comfortable post plant for Yes, I Can. Just jiggling the line. Half going to come through here for Forced Out, sticking it right off the bat. Yes, I Can. He's got a peek any second now. It was a full stick there from the Jet. But Yes, I Can's going to deal with that nicely. 3 and 1 for Fancy, and their half-buy gets through and does a huge amount of damage to ARF team's economy. That's really flipped this game on its head now, Mitch.
Such a tough round to play that post plant, right? Mentally, you know, do you rotate all the way around, maybe catch him at C long? But nah, Yes, I Can. You know, he was in full control and a very bold attempt at the full stick there. So Fancy, they get a run on the board in an unexpected place.
Yeah, it's just going to be the dimensional drift straight up into the site. Maybe combo that with the Hunter's Fury. Over towards C here. Gonna have to clear the trips getting on in here. Deep Cam already spots them from Kylie. Hunter's Fury coming out here from Nathan. Trying to clear the middle of the map. Not going to hit anything as all of these players are over towards C. They're getting up into the site nice and cleanly. Out comes the Yoru, but
Kylie alive!
I mean, he's barely alive. But there you go. 4 on 3 as the plant goes down there for Cruz.
The fact that he even gets one there is crazy, and then traded out as well. So Nia and Foxy, both the duelists, they go down. And now they are going to be able to get into that long position. I think the main thing is that Yes, I Can's obviously saved that Hunter's Fury over in towards the next round, but he gets taken as Fostow also gets him. Man, you know, they drop one up, but they're straight back in with 4 alive, and that should kind of do a bit of damage to the economy of Fancy. They'll have a buy, but it's not going to be great after that.
No. I mean, they had everything they needed to be able to get that C-side hit going well for themselves. That dimensional drift with the Hunter's Fury, which wasn't even popped by Yes, I Can. That's kind of like a little toolkit to get yourself a free pick in the earlier parts of the round and kind of force things into a retake situation. But execution a little off, unfortunately, for Fancy United, and ARF team taking full advantage. 4 players surviving in a retake where Dimensional Drift is popped is a very convincing round win on the defense here. They're already up 4-1. They've got a Rolling Thunder as well to play with in this round. And this time, it's going to be Nathan with the Operator of Forced Out. TP goes across from Cruz, Cage forward. It's only a half buy, but there's some punching power with a couple of Hero Vandals in it. Forced Out on the line, traded quite quickly by Nia though, so that's going to be an Operator hitting the deck, and a follow-up from Foxy means that the A site's open for business, but Fancy are not fully aware of that. They're not going to pick up the pace. They're going to slow things down. Big rotations come across the map here from ARF team. They've taken this A space back. Deep can on C means that they know that no one's over there, and the trips are at least safeguarding the middle of the map for now.
Not even going to overextend to try and find that Operator either. So Nia just relying on the overdrive that he's still got in hand. But great shot with the classic there all the way down. They are still keeping an eye on this, so it's a pretty bold rotate, but that Neural Theft is obviously going to give them a whole lot of information, so they try to split out now. That's where their rotation's going to come through. They actually brought the cam back, Mitch, so they're going to try and get in towards position. Now Scar trying to at least stem the bleeding here, get into a little bit of extra control. They are out on the side, trying to drop on in. It's going to be smart to just wait for the rest of the team on the rotate. They do try to move in, but the fake out, that's going to be destroyed as well. The Rolling Thunder also utilized. Yes, I can. Gets one back. Woody at least able to trade, but there's Nia. That's all left on to Kylie. Great round previously, but it's just going to be too challenging. So there we go. The Neon of Nia finds a second round there for Fancy. Big stuff, big moves.
Yeah, they consistently win these half-buys every single time. With the guns, things are a little bit more difficult, but the half-buy has once again got through here for Fancy, and finally that's done a big enough dent in the economy of ARF team that they're going to have to take a save here. Jet Knives will come out. Bunch of Sheriffs and light armor. You've got the Guardian being considered there by Woody. But money is pretty good here for Fancy, actually. And if they have a clean anti-eco, they're off to the races. Looks like going to be some A control. Woody setting up a bit of a fault line off the bat, trying to keep them out of A lobby and set up Forced Out to take an opening pick here.
Already looking. Foxy straight through that dark cover. Doesn't give a damn. And now it really does make it a bit more awkward. This is the danger, I suppose, of a map like Haven, right? Playing on that defensive side. You lose one, you lose two, and you know, you basically just have to concede the site and try to play mostly challenging retakes, especially on that side of A. But look, you're going to give it not too much thought this time around, Mitch, just the Sheriff. So a couple of members here at least to defend the A site, where it does seem like Fancy are poised to take.
Yeah, I mean, A default has been the name of the game here for Fancy. Trips and Cam are keeping the rest of the map pretty solid here. Fake out going to be placed there by Foxy. Gate crash on forward. They're prepping the execute. Fast lane comes up on in. Woody ready with reactive utility. Going to throw out a fault line there and trying to slow things down. But Fancy are still playing through pretty decently here until the Sheriffs come out. Nathan going huge from Graffiti. And still Woody with a Vandal picked up and a Paranoia slowing down. Fancy United has a chance to close this 2-on-2 here. Spike's right in front of him. Not sure if he's even spotted it behind the gun barrel. Certainly has now.
One enemy remaining.
Positioning just completely overlooked, and that's allowing him to get another Twilight in the 1v1 clutch. Just going to go for that flash. All he has to do is just buy time. He can continue to hold on for it as long as possible. Cam goes up. Now he needs to hold this angle. He has to win this gun battle. He's going to be able to line it up, but Twilight is going to get it. I don't know. I feel like, yeah, Woody played that a little poorly after having such a great position, but the dark cover just gave enough time for Fancy to wrap around, and Twilight clutching it out. Great result. That's the economy, look, almost falling over, I suppose. You know, it was a really, really solid round from ARF in the end with just the pistols, but now it's a gun-on-gun battle. Let's see if Fancy can pick one of these gun rounds up.
Yeah, it's just one of those one-on-ones that it's a bit of a 50-50. Like with the way that the Peeker's advantage works in Valorant, man. Like,
of course,
have someone swing out on you, you can lose that. Even if you're in a good position. Post it up. Cam going deep on C long once again. Going to spot out the majority of Fancy United here. Already A lobby control taken by ARF team, but the execute's coming in thick and fast here, Mitch.
They really love to utilize this Neon and Yoru. Scar going to be able to at least drop one, but Foxy does get the trade out onto Kylie, which does allow full passage in towards this site. That spike will be planted. Long passive as always. So now the rotation as well. Fostow still a little while away. There will be a recon bolt going in nice and close. Foxy really trying to play this to a position too. They do manage to break the trip. But again, they're all just ready to go. As soon as this drone comes on in, he's going to have to try and fight it. Fostow not quite ready, but he will connect with the shot. And now moving into position. Cruz will be able to take him down. Yes, I can. Also finding another, and Woody gets dropped by Twilight. Nathan 1 versus 3, just so challenging, waiting for this push. They just could not overwhelm these cheeky buggers sitting inside the dark cover, Mitch. And as that dart gets destroyed, Nathan unfortunately just has to lick his wounds and walk away. That's going to be Fancy picking up another round.
Yep. See, execute went a lot better that time. You have the dimensional drift off the back of Foxy going down there as well, which is going to be fantastic to help them get through the next couple of rounds, wherever they want to invest it. And much more successful C hit that time, and that is the pressure that a Neon and a Yoru in combination can create. You can see at the backside of the site there, Kylie trying to hold on with his whole setup, sitting with a dark cover thrown by Scar. None of that matters. You're still getting hit with a flash TP and a relay bolt right in the face, and you've got multiple agents sliding in on you. It's very difficult to defend sometimes if the util's placed correctly. Half buy coming out here for ARF team, which, you know, you can't take for granted. They've already done a lot of damage with some of these half buys, if not made them look very doable. Fancy also won some. Very close with the Guardian shots there for Forstau on the spam through onto Nia, but punishing Foxy as he peeks his head out. So a man advantage already for ARF team. Fancy now going to pick up the pace towards C-Long. Kylie checking his cam. We'll see these players here up through the middle of the map. Twilight's trying to catch some players on rotation here, and the site's been taken by Nia, but Scar going to punish him on the entry.
Stinger doing that, my word. Twilight does get the trade out onto Kylie though, so there is a level of control once more, and that means he's locked down a very awkward line onto B. Does get some information, looks down mid. So he is quite trapped, but it's just allowing that additional interest to be focused as the rest of the team can slot into this post plant. They're going to push forward here, Cruz, so he will have a duel in just a second, but Scar going to get taken down. That's a second for Twilight, looking for the third here. We'll be able to pick it up. Very nice round from Twilight. Completely individualistic style, picking up all of it, but it will in the end be Fostau going down to the hand of the Omen. And Fancy, they take the lead back. It was very much the ARF show, 4-1, and now Fancy 5-4 advantage, 4 in a row.
Yeah, round started terribly as well. Forstau doing a lot of damage over here on a lobby, but that's where Twilight, one of the core players from the last roster, just takes matters into his own hands, breaks the trip top B, and just walks straight through the middle of the map, tearing apart the defense, while the rest of Fancy get that C hit kicked off. So great recovery. Dimensional Drift now ready to go from the shadows as well, so a lot of cheeky positions that Fancy could find their way into. Cage going through onto long. Once again, the dart not getting broken, going to scan 2 players, so Fancy not feeling like they want to commit over towards that A lobby. Instead, it's a Dimensional Drift straight back through on towards the C side, and they're going to try to send it in.
Inside that dark cover, a little bit awkward, but it has given himself a little bit of extra space. Kylie actually managing to find Foxy there, and despite being very, very blind, it's the extra sort of line of that neural theft that gives a little bit more information. But Nia looking very, very scary, has to pop into the dark cover, needs to swing out though, trying to find the additional shot. Fostau gets it back. Cruz happy to rotate away though from the shadows to get that spike planted. Obviously, we already did have that additional control from Twilight. Now Nathan's going to have to wait for the rotate in.
Yeah, Cruz just trying to buy time. Twilight's wrapping all the way around, so the Omen needs to play time here. Drone going through in towards the site, sees absolutely nothing. Fault line on default. Forstau's already made it onto the side. Dart going through onto long, going to reveal the position of Cruz. Nathan already tapping it, TP across. He's going to get it to half. Forstau winning that duel as well. He's on for 3, and Twilight not seen on the site. Not enough pressure created by Cruz there to let that flank come into fruition, and unfortunately, ARF team going to pick themselves up a 5th and complete another A-site retake.
Great game so far, Mitch. Really enjoying this one right now. It seems like it's very much back and forth. Fancy had a little bit of control back, but yeah, ARF, great response on that retake. Fully aware of the flank too.
Yep. So getting towards the dying hours of this first half. Got a fair few ults in play here for ARF team. One off the Rolling Thunder as well for Woody. Overdrive very close for Fancy.
Go, go, go.
Could be something that they look to in the next round. There's the fault line out, but dashing straight past it, as well as a TP from Cruz. Fancy have made it out A without too many dart scans there from the Sova. They've dodged that quite nicely. This is where ARF team is changing things up though. The mid-aggression with the big rotation off C. The cam hasn't seen anything bottom of C once again. It's been a great info line for ARF team to be able to rely upon and freely rotate towards the other side of the map. But you can see Twilight, he was looking like he was going to do his due diligence there and go clear that cam, but instead they're looking to re-clear middle with the drone and the dark cover.
Still not a whole lot of contest. Happy to be sitting in that mid control. But now Woody falling away, so leaving it up for now. This is the thing about Haven, right? You got to go hunting. Try to find that additional control. And Twilight, who has found some info, he's going to have to walk into that trip. Can't quite go under it. We'll destroy it and get out of there. So they've got some info, but at the exact same time, they're taking their way into A. Fostow already there to try and deny. The scan may very well come through. It doesn't quite onto Foxy. But look at how ready they are, Mitch. They're already trying to walk in towards this position, but they give it up for now. They're happy to not fight it. They're just going to wait for that Hunter's Fury. It's actually going to be popped through. Denies the spike plant again. There's so much chaos inside this round because Fostow, I think he wants to look on through, but Twilight's going to be able to get one back, Mitch. Look at them now, trying to get out, trying to flood on into position. Already crossing onto that line. Cruz just watching so closely. Foxy, Twilight hitting the shots, and there it is. So quick. They didn't even have a chance to think. Already into control after they try to get out, but Fancy are fully locked in. 6-5.
Yeah, much more difficult A-site retake to be completing there for ARF team. Didn't really feel like they had a good crack at it, though, to be fair. Like, a lot of util there that didn't really feel like it hit the mark. Hunter's Fury didn't get too much done, unfortunately, and Fancy just crushing them as they come out of spawn side, despite fighting that opener onto Nia. They had the man advantage, and they still really didn't make it look like it as they tried to attempt that retake. Rolling Thunder's online now, but it's a bit of a weaker buy here for ARF team. Dark cover towards the top side of C, but you've still got the Cam securing that info. Cam over on the A lobby side for Twilight. He might think about a little bit of a lurk into A lobby a little bit later on in the mid round as Fancy start to take grass.
Watching here.
Still sitting back again. Fancy have a fair bit of real estate just inside. But ultimately, the rotations around, still that level of questioning going through for ARF. Trying to work out exactly how they want to approach it. But for now, it's not moving.
It's the same thing. They're just relying on the Cam bottom of C long. That's going to give them that info line, and they're quite happy to stack over towards that A side of the map. This time, though, like I said, Twilight's on a little bit of a lurk into sewer here. Try to keep a little bit of A pressure, maybe creep out onto the line and find a pick. There's literally 4 players here, though, and he's not really ready for that. But the fact that he's still been able to find one and create this much pressure as the C execute comes in is huge. Once again, Kylie hit by the relay bolt and just absolutely destroyed by Nia sliding into the site for free.
Didn't have a chance to do anything there, did he? I mean, look, Nia has overextended, and now that means that the Rolling Thunder can come out. Does get a catch onto 1 and 2 in the back corner of the site, but no, Foxy actually managing to get out there. So Cruz finds it, and it's all onto Fostow. 1 versus 4. Trap there. He's going to actually get caught with it. Now he gives away that full sign of information. All they need to do is swing on in. And it's going to be Yes I Can securing out round number 12. 7-5 is the scoreline. Very nicely done from Fancy. It was a little bit slow of a start, but they lead it out. 5 scoreline, and now ARF are going to be on that attacking side, the favored side. See if they can shift up the pace here and get back in.
Cam to grass here for ARF team. Twilight's going to take that out right off the rip. He's left his own Cam behind in garage. Meanwhile, Fancy got a lot of info over towards A lobby. Quite happy to send the gate crash back to site for Foxy to go forward and try to contest on this off angle. He's going to have trouble on his hands, though. ARF team heading back in his direction. There's no drone here for Nathan to be able to re-clear, so it's just got to be dry duels. But Nathan all over that one. Very sharp shot, punishing the aggressive peak of Foxy there. And now Fancy a little bit behind the 8 ball. A player down, with 2 players actually still here on this A side to defend, but it's going to have to be pretty huge from both Cruz and Nia to lock this one down.
Does have the paranoia available at the very least to try and defend it. But quick movement coming in off the back of the fault line. Kylie Fostow getting those opening picks as well. So just a very, very challenging retake here for Yes I Can and Twilight. But I got to admit, they have been having a pretty good run. It's going to be Twilight rotating back around, joining Yes I Can. They're just going to walk their way through defense side of spawn and see what they can do. But as you mentioned, very, very tough. Great entry into the site from ARF. Now it's just one of those ones where really it's the timer ticking down, isn't it? You know, hoping for a couple of these duels. Realistically, all ARF need to do is just not make any mistakes, and that's great utilization of the paranoia. Last man standing, Yes I Can. Does get 1, 2, hang on. Kylie to close. There was a moment in time, but realistically not that much to defuse the spike. So well done in the end from ARF. They get another pistol, and they close the gap once more.
Yeah, I mean, punishing that Yoru aggression, pardon me, and then just a perfect execute. Like, there's nothing that Cruz could do on the back of the side there. He's full stun, getting stand by Sova Dart and dashed on by Forced Out. That was pretty much all she wrote. Good pistol for ARF to try to recover some momentum here. It definitely felt like this game was slipping away from them after a hot start. Fancy won, what was that? Out of the last 7 or so, they won like 5 or 6 of them. Big stack on the C side. Juicy here for Fancy United. Cage going up, as does the Dart cover. Dart to the backside of the site. They're going to cancel, but not before donating a Twilight, a Vandal. That is quite generous of them.
It's always that thing, isn't it? You know, just that basic rule of Valorant, clear your corners. And only with a Ghost for Woody. Guardian, low HP for Nathan. Full HP almost on the side of Fancy. A little bit of damage on the Twilight, but I don't know, man. They're just going to reaggress, refocus. They do manage to take down Twilight at the very least, but the Vandal was dropped over to Foxy before they took that. Now 4 and 4, as that spike's going to go down on C.
Plant being thrown in there by Scar. Big trip and a cage over onto Spawn there. Although I think it's been moved around. Fancy do have that Vandal on the flank, but a trip in position gonna signal the fact that there is gonna be a flank coming through. Cruz making his way through Gary window. Fancy setting themselves up a little bit of a net. There should be a bait set up here with the Sova going first, but Foxy wants to be the one to take that opening duel. There's a cam in position that will spot out that flank and the timing of it. Pressure comes in through Gary's side. I think Fancy's just trying to kick the mid in here and try to make this as expensive as possible. And going down 2 on the flank here. But yes, I can. After all of that damage and guns taken away, we'll just hold on to the Vandal here. And it will still be around the ARF team. But Fancy very much just playing the percentages right now. Trying to min-max that economy over time as we head through into the 15th round here.
Good chance for them to really get back into it here, Fancy. Only the 2 Vandals that will be dragged through into this bonus. They're going to invest a little bit more to make it somewhat competitive, ARF, but if they can drag this one forward, I think Fancy might start to throw a few question marks out. It's going to be hard to defend, but they're doing well so far. Very even game.
Big stack towards A here. Twilight just leaving Util on towards C and B, Cam and Gary, and it's just going to be a massive fight for A. Our team, though, camp to grass. Looks like they just cleared the top B trip, and they're going to try to just pick up the pace straight up on in there. Maybe try to get themselves a quick pledge on in Scarf. Just sticking that one. Quick retake from Fancy, though. They want to just flood straight back into the site, but they haven't cleared Scar with the Bucky inside of the dark cover here, Mitch.
Yeah, not looking at all. He's actually managed to get into a bit more of a preferred position into Link, but Nia well and truly aware of that right now. So all 3 members sitting in grass, sitting down bottom mid. And Nia's going to look to try and clear all of those angles. Does drop on in, and he's going to be Foxy. But Kylie with 3! Amazing stuff. He's got the 4K. Now he just has to try and stick it, but no. It doesn't quite work out. Oh, wait. Yes. No, Fancy gets the defuse. There we go. Okay.
Fancy got it off, but the Aftershock took out Foxy at the end of things. So ARF team, that's a very good bonus. It's a very, very good bonus. Very winnable, though. Kylie absolutely exploding in the server there. He's gotten a little bit sick of getting bullied on the C site for the entirety of defense. He said, I've had enough. I'm going to start punching back. And he was punching pretty bloody hard in that bonus.
Oh, man. Pain. You would have hoped that it would have gone their way. Especially with that Aftershock right at the very, very end. But not quite. Good effort. Fancy holding on. Bit of that aggression out towards A-Long again.
Yeah, they've taken some space over here. Ready for some aggression from Fancy United. You've got to be wary of these Yoru set plays with the flashes peeking out on the timing. Oh, towards Gary in the meanwhile. Nia's actually walked all the way down C long. There's the paranoia. Trying to create an opportunity to isolate Kylie on the lurk here, but he's going to keep himself safe inside the cages. Over on the other side of the map. Spam coming through from Yes I Can. 3 players strong on the A site here for Fancy. That's unlucky. Getting spammed on through. There's 2 trips in position. One of them cleared over alongside Twilight. Can't hear that player running next to him inside the smoke. And unfortunately, you get a 2-on-2 now. Side control for ARF team. Plant going down. Hunter's Fury in position, but Nia coming in on the flank here.
Last player
Very
standing.
aggressive. Foxy, you know he's sharp. Be able to connect with that shot too. He does indeed, so he can just go and play with his food for a little bit, right? He's got all that information. He's going to throw out a couple of cheeky little blind sides. But in the end, it's Nia. Get the stun up. Very well done on that relay bolt. Foxy with a nice 3K. And Fancy are going to continue to hold on here. The first gun round does not go the way of ARF team. Fancy edge themselves one step closer to a victory on this opening map, but still a fair bit of work to do. They are going to give themselves a bit more space, though, as I think ARF team's not going to have a whole lot of cash to invest into this round.
Yeah, overdrive's there for Nia. If he wants to pop that, try to min-max the money. Couple of players here, Kylie and Woody, that were a fair bit richer than the rest of the boys. So this half buy is going to pack a little bit of a punch here. Fair few Vandals on offer. If you find a pick, that Neural Theft could definitely help you get on top of the rotations in the mid-round. Hunter's Fury to potentially close things out as well could be a little bit deadly. Fancy need to be careful because their money hasn't built up too much. They're definitely quite resettable here. Dart's going to be exchanged back and forth, but the big focus of this round for ARF team is definitely grass. Only showing the Cypher. So you can see Twilight's out of position as a result of that. He thinks it's just the Cypher lurking and unfortunately was not ready for the jet there.
Gonna pop that Neural Theft now to try and gather something off the back of it, just further sort of extend their position. Double tap on the info. Fostow dinked up. Great shot from Nia. Been hitting some really, really nice shots on this Neon. Now getting re-aggressive. Sitting outside. Garage. Scar so low. And now with that sight control coming in, the spike will make its way in. Scar's positioning is going to be that big one to keep an eye on here right now. If Nia just drop at the wrong time or doesn't find the right position, yes, I can. I would find some more tagging up as well. So that's Kylie going down, and there we go. No stress at all. Nia does get one. And Foxy to close. So Fancy, they've just been looking much more consistent these last couple of rounds. Mitch is second. They've got a bit more confidence behind them. Obviously, again, ARF only a bit of a half investment there. It's going to be a full gun round now, which is kind of going to be the crux of this. I think if Fancy take this, maybe they can start to look to close the game, but ARF still in it for another second.
Tuck timeout for ARF team here. Half buy does a lot of work there, especially off the pick at the back of Forstow. Like I said, giving Twilight a bit of a false sense of security that he's playing that old Cypher battle in the middle of the map, and then there's 2 or 3 people running at him. Gets caught off guard a little bit, but it's a good recovery from Fancy. It cost them a fair bit to get back into that one, though. They had to pop the Hunter's Fury and the Overdrive, so ult economies suffered a little bit, but at least they've been able to survive with 3 players up. For ARF team, though, they can get this timeout going, and into the next gun round, need to start to think about how these opening portions of these rounds have been going. It's been a lot of the Cypher for Fancy United in the middle of the map over towards C quite often, but they've been switching up the trips quite a lot. You know, you have had the trips over towards A once, you had the Neon down the bottom of C long, so Fancy have really been changing up the setup quite often, and it's going to be quite hard for ARF team to read that. They have got the Hunter's Fury to work with from the shadows and getting pretty close to a Rolling Thunder as well, and it seems like it's going to be a massive brawl over the A side of the map to kick things off here.
The old left, right, good night about to come on in. All guns, all fury, about to be blazing. Very keen to see who gets away with this duel. Recon Balt is going to go in. They are going to try and gather some information, but it's a little bit delayed there, so still nothing really just happening. Gate crash is out to go through, so there we go. It's all happening now. Naya Knife getting the trades back, but it's all ARF doing it, everything in that position, and Twilight's just sitting back. Mitch going, where the hell's my team gone? Gonna have to try and go for a massive 1v4 here, and I just don't know if he's got it in him, so ARF still certainly in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Good little tack timeout for them. They were well aware that Fancy might want to set up some kind of set play like that, and it's something that I already mentioned. It's something you have to keep a little bit of an eye on with this Yoru Neon comp. You know, it can be a second's notice that you just get a Yoru doing exactly that, throwing a flash out, and then you get the Neon sliding in with the relay bolt. It was a set play from Fancy there. You had the paranoia all the way through. In fact, even some pings from Fancy, because you see how quickly that was swatted away from ARF team. You can see pings on the map from Fancy United being like, bro, where'd the Omen blind go? Where did this go? Like, how did we just get wiped with a set play that clean that was sitting in the exact positions that we were expecting? And look, I did see Cruz get that blind off. There was 1 or 2 players on ARF team blind, but yeah, it's hard to tell from that, you know, obs perspective when you're watching 1 or 2 players, but for the most part, it felt like a lot of that Fancy util did land, but ARF team was still able to just defend that set play nicely.
Always challenging, isn't it? Still trying to work out some of the synergized plays when you're working through those new roster changes, but ultimately it does well for ARF, and they were originally looking like they wanted to commit towards A, but this time they're going to shift it around, and it's only going to be Twilight taking a sort of similar approach to what we saw from ARF, as Kylie on that Cypher doing similar sort of things. But that's information gathered already, Pilski. Look at how much control Fancy are looking to find here. Will it catch? I think it's going to be a toughie. Yeah, there you go. Twilight actually managing to make it work so far. He gets one, but quickly traded out. I've got my eyes on Nia. Is he going to try and fight the fight? No, they're going to leave it and just play the post plan.
He slowed the ground quite substantially, but the Hunter's Fury and the Rolling Thumb, they're going to make this retake a bit of a nightmare for Fancy United. Lesser weaponries for them as well. Nia, the first one to take the duel, as you highlighted. There's a little bit of a floor trip he has to avoid as he goes up Garage, and he gets hit by it, punished by Kylie. He's going to take out Foxy as well. Cruz can't get anything done. It's a really nice post land for ARF. They didn't even need any of the ults. It's just really, really nicely placed utility from Kylie there. Little bit of a floor trip in Gary. Cage goes up, and they just keep them trapped in the choke points before Fancy United can even scale into the site.
Yeah, very, very rough. They're going to be feeling it right now, and that's why they've called this timeout here. Fancy. Good opportunity to have a bit of a conversation and work out what's going on for this crew. Again, it's been a bit of an up and down one. A little bit of an odd game for both these teams. You know, they've kind of had those runs of extensive rounds from time to time, but it hasn't been that fully consistent position where they're seeing some good results back and forth. So pulling the pin now, making sure they don't get that tied scoreline, and getting the discussions out the way nice and early before it becomes too late, Mitch.
Yeah, but I mean, they're discussing into an eco. You know, it's going to have to be some kind of, you know, smaller play in the grand scheme of things, and then heading into whatever comes in the next gun round, which is probably what they're really discussing, as well as the tendencies that ARF team is showing them. Really, for ARF team, it's been a fair bit of 5-manning in the last couple of rounds, but earlier on from that, they were definitely working the map a little bit, so we'll see what Fancy do come up with. I think they're going to feel a little bit hard done by, and you did have that 4-man commitment to A, where it felt like the set play was kind of landing, but they just didn't hit any of the kills that they needed to. They tried to re-up that, but ARF team just runs straight into the C site, so feeling like Fancy United is having a tough time getting a good read, and once again, they're going to start off 4A. Cam goes into grass, and ARF team's already just setting themselves up to take the big side early.
Straight into position. Fostal looking to fight that duel as well. He actually does manage to get a massive catch onto Nia. Nicely timed. Again, just the eco, but the utility was perfect. He doesn't want to overextend into Cruz's crosshair either. Foxy, though, does get one back, so that's going to be a Vandal recovered. Fostal will drop Cruz, so they have to push into the further extremities, as Fancy are obviously all fully on the flank. They're not aware of that, though, just yet. And I do like Scar's positioning here. They might not be watching all of the lines, though, so if they clear on in, Scar might have a bit of a tough time. He shouldered it out here. Twilight, though, get taken down, so it's looking like it's going to be nice and easy from here. Some good damage with just the paranoia. Doesn't have to fight the duel. Actually goes for the dive on in with the Shrouded Step, but it's Fostal with the 3K. 10-10 is the scoreline. And this is lining up to be the game that we were sort of hoping it for, Mitch.
Yeah, I kind of perceived it to be going this way, to be honest, you know. But to be fair, this has been a bit of a up and down map for Fancy United, and have made a couple of roster changes, but ARF team doing what we expected of them. A pretty decent team from the Indonesian scene. They've been together for quite a while. They are the kind of team that could steal themselves a place in the top 8 here and try to take on some of the big dogs in Southeast Asia. It would be a good storyline for them, as far as I'm concerned, after the you know, years of hard work they put in since the start of 2024. Been kind of grinding in the shadow of Alter Ego and Boom. A long control taken on early here. Trips have been put up for Fancy United, and they have got a pretty nice rotation timing over towards this A site. Let's see if they can have a better time holding it. Nia's got that deep C long info line, so Fancy is feeling quite comfortable with their stack here. Have got Cruz ready with the reactive paranoia there. And in comes the execute.
Moving their way in now. Fostal clearing all the different lines. Does run out of the blades, though. Does get one drop there by Twilight. Trade out accordingly. But that should afford enough time for that spike to get planted. Yes, I can. Is going to drop down the Shockbolt, that actually does prevent the plant here, so they are buying plenty of time for this rotation to come on around. Now that spike finally getting planted, I think they're actually going to go really, really quick off the back of this retake. Now Nia, even with that operator, already looking so close, trying to sort of connect on that line. Another dark cover. Does give themselves a little bit of extra space, but now it's that fast lane. Relay bolt goes in, and that damage from ARF team. An 11th round here as they take the lead back. 2 alive. Didn't even have to burn the Rolling Thunder. Very nicely done from the Indonesian side. And they are stepping themselves closer to this victory because look at the money Mitch Fancy.
Yeah, they've reset them again. Haven't been burning any of these ults. I feel like they've been sitting on the Hunter's Fury of the Rolling Thunder for like 4 or 5 rounds right now because they've just been closing out rounds with the good old-fashioned basics. Just a really sick crossfire up across Graffiti and Hellside, not letting Fancy United get out of spawn. And ARF team, once again, it seems like it's just the same patterns. A hit comes in, they go and they speed up towards B. It's just working every single time, straight into grass. A lobby taken by Fancy, and once again, trying to set themselves up for a little bit of a flood onto this B site, perhaps.
Lots of information gathered. Foxy's position is strong, but yeah, I think so. They're not going to take advantage of this at all. They're just going to switch out.
Changing things up. Working their way back into towards a lobby. A little bit of a lighter crossfire. They were ready for Foxy. They're just burning the Hunter's Fury to be able to clear him out of that close position. Yes, I can. He's been the standout for Fancy United for the longest time here on the line with the Guardian. Gets a couple and gives them a chance into this round with the half-buy. Dimensional drip popped by Foxy here. He's going to pick up the Guardian. There's already 3 players here to defend Mitch.
Absolute chance to get it in, and with that fake out going through, will it blind them? Yes, it will, kind of. It's enough. Twilight also locking them in. It's going to have to just be ARF brute forcing their way through this round, Mitch. They're going to walk on up. Mira's up so close. Foxy on that line, but he's taken down. And it's Foster straight through the dark cover, not giving a damn about it. It's going to be all eyes on Nia. The second that dark cover does fade, surely they're aware of it. And now they're looking to get that spike planted. Nia has managed to slot into the cubby just on the other side of the sewers, but they've taken backside as a result of it, completely isolating all of this space. And now they cross the line. Woody spots out Twilight, and now Nia left all alone here. Has to just hope for a lucky shot, a lucky jewel, and he does hit one, but 1 point of HP, somehow still alive. Oh my god! That is one of the most incredible clutch plays I've ever seen, Mitch! What just happened?
With the Sheriff, Mitch! Jesus Christ! Alright, I'm not questioning the pickup anymore. Put him on the roster, mate.
I'm up and about.
Unreal clutch from Nia in that 1-on-3, set up by Yes I Can, who did so much damage in lobby there. And ARF team, they were doing everything right, weren't they? They were just working that 3-on-4 perfectly. You know, they were doing things by the numbers. Nice little smoke up into sight, playing together in hell. They even found out where Nia was with the From the Shadows, but none of that bloody matters when you get some individual brilliance and you can't counter-strat brilliance.
I'm lost for words, mate. That is a moment that you don't see. Many years of commentating this game, and they are taking all advantage of it right now. Completely decimating, riding on that high, highly. 1v5. And they have utilized all of that momentum to completely turn the tides. Vietnam will strike. And Fancy are 1 point away from taking this map. ARF need to do it all right now. They've got the money, but do they have the mentality?
The set play finally hits in that last round. Fancy's been force stacking A this whole bloody game for such a long time, bro. And it finally works out for them. The Hunter's Fury pulled an ARF team getting crumbled in A lobby.
This goes here.
Like you said, last chance after a really good day at the office here from ARF team. Op's going to come out for both teams. Forstow a little bit quicker on the draw though. Foxy hitting the deck. And now ARF team going to slow things down. Cam inside A lobby. And Forstow going to take this next duel up on towards the top side of B.
Just going to slow it right down here. Fancy. They're still in the driver's seat. They're still on that defender's side. Cruz has found Woody.
Cover going
Maybe a moment in time where they can somehow bring this back.
Creeping up onto C-Long.
Oh, man.
There's the neural theft from the defense. That's going to reveal exactly what ARF's intentions are. Here's the dash on through from Force down. Neo doesn't hit the shot. Big forced out of the site, and Fancy once again are going to have to rely on that retake. Gate crash cleared. Nia
Spike
does have the
planted.
overdrive, so can try to slide back in to try to complete this retake here.
Neural theft is the only real advantage that they have ARF here. And Nia's going to get moving very, very quickly, but it's happening, Mitch, right now. Scar is going to have to make something work. Cruz trying to hit the shot, but now it's all on the yes, I can, and boy, can he. 1 versus 3.
I know
Does get the
exactly
damage
where
dealt,
you
but he's
are.
actually rotating all the way around. He's going to try and bait out this neural theft. But obviously, again, it is going to pop twice, and he is going to try and capitalize on that shift, but it's not really going to work out. He's just burnt a whole lot of time. He's going to have to run straight into the crosshair, and Kylie's going to rip his head right off Pilski. It is map number 1, series number 1 of
Switching
the
sides.
evening, and we have an overtime on our hands.
12 apiece. Definitely deserving of an overtime. This has been a fantastic game of Haven. ARF team really putting Fancy United through their paces right now. Everyone performing in the server. Fancy back on the attack. And a bit of a 2-1-2 for ARF team. You got that trip placed up towards the front side of B. A little bit of a kill trip on the front side of C there. And probably a Cam and Gary. Omen's going to be committed to holding that C flank. Oh, sorry, that C site, anchoring the C site. And Fancy, once again, grouped up to try to hit A. You've got the breach with the supportive utility from A-Link here. Cage on towards long. Just a classic A lobby take here from ARF team. And Fancy United, they're going to respect it. Forstow's been able to get on this deep info line, and that's going to allow the rotations to come back across. See how Scar and Kylie go holding C.
Holding back of the site. So many tags up on that utility. Somehow Scar still alive, obviously getting the information now. The fake out, Nia straight on in there. Cruz does get the shot back. So it's an advantage heavily for Fancy. They've done well on this attacker's side, but not clearing out the side. It is going to be Woody getting away with... Here out Foxy as well. He will be able to fight it. Yes, I can equalize 2-on-2, but Foxdown gets it back. All left on that. Taken down. Unfortunately, not living up to his years in his namestate. As it's going to be ARF team taking that back. They lost that 1v3. They lost that really aggressive round into the 23rd. But they will still continue if they are going to get this team across the line, kicking and screaming. Fostow and Woody are going to drag them there.
I mean, Fancy's kicking themselves, unfortunately, after that round. They had a double entry onto C, Mitch. They've been folding this C site every single time. Scar and Kylie could not hold yet again, but that 3-on-5 retake looks a little too easy. It's been a couple of times that Nia's been overextending a little bit. Some of these Fancy United players have been punished, and that's a perfect example of it. That should have been a 5-on-3 with an open plant on that C site, getting closed every single day of the week, and now ARF team smelling blood in the water. Pack timeout going to be coming out. They want to close this game of Haven. And similar to the Overdogs yesterday, I would say less so because they've been grinding for quite a while here, Mitch, but once again, one of the lesser seeds from one of these regions taking on, you know, a perceivably stronger team, given some roster changes and really taking it to them. And this is the exciting thing about Challengers Southeast Asia. You might be the number 3, the number 4 seed from a certain region, but even taking on some of these teams from other regions, once you start to throw away those mental barriers of taking on the best in your region and throw away the stylistic familiarity that these teams have with each other inside their own home country regions, that's where you get to really see, like, honestly, some of these lower seed teams in various regions are pretty decent when you put them up against the whole field.
That's the opportunity of events like this, right? You know, it's not focused on that absolute tier 1. It's focused on some of those teams that didn't quite get the opportunity in Ascension, didn't quite get the opportunity to go up to Pacific. They want to duke it out and fight hard. As ARF now setting their sights up towards B mid.
Yeah, A lobby's been taken. Trip being cleared, forced out. Just picking that one. Doesn't want to reveal that there's an op-out. There's an op-out for the defense as well. Nia on this deep line. Grass being contested. Cam being taken out.
There it
Twilight
is.
punished by forced out for a second time. A big pick into Garage drops all the trips across the map.
So much control can be gathered from that. Gate crash through, getting away. Space is on B. They're not going to overextend it. They're just still waiting. Obviously, Nia holding that very aggressive line. Now as they can check in towards A-Link, they know it's clear. It's all going to be that aggressive pick and just how quickly want to take it, Mitch. They're going to slot it down. It's going to be a bit of time before they go for this retake.
Yeah, yes, I can. Wanting to go and re-clear A-Link with Nia. That's going to take a lot of time on the clock. And you already got Kylie, who's ready to flank through Garage later on into the round. Forced out on the line. Forced out by the Paranoia. But all of ARF team set up inside of the site. Punished by Yes I Can and Nia. They're starting to make inroads back into the site. Now another trade in the favor of Fancy United. It's just down to Kylie. Didn't end up wrapping through Garage. But going only 1-for-1 is not good enough. Yes I Can with another critical multi-frag to keep Fancy United in the game.
Oh, man. We knew it was going to be a good game, but not this close. It's had so much action, so many moments, and this constant game of tug-of-war, right? You know, no one can really get a solid foot. No one can really find themselves in a space where they are able to throw some consistent rounds together, and that is one of the dangers that is the Valorant overtime, right? It's the best of two. You've got to be able to connect two together on those swapped sides, and yeah, right now, it was the defense that was strong, and both teams get another crack at this.
Once again, a contest from Fancy.
Revealing area.
Dart comes out from Nathan. Not going to scan Cruz, who's once again TP'd across. That will have been heard by Forstow, who's on the rifle this time. Second time he's been able to isolate a pick on Foxy. Double peek being organized here from Fancy United. Going to force the dash, but job's done for Forstow. Man advantage for ARF team. The man's won a lot of opening duels in this game.
Really has, hasn't he? It's been that top fragger for the team on this Jet. Nia obviously putting in pretty good results on the Neon too, but has been the duelists so important in creating that space. And I think now, Pilski, it's looking like it could be a little bit of a lineup or maybe a fake. No, they are going straight in towards this here. Nia already trying to get that control, but Woody's going to decimate him. 2 for Woody. That spike drop. He should have that information.
Oh, look at Twilight. In a pole position to make this one work. Cardi didn't have his gun out. There's no trade. This is doable now. Yes, I can could just leave the site, but will he get caught in transition by Forstow aggressing on Sewer?
I love this from Forstow taking advantage of the space he was given. Here's the footsteps and now dropping the spike again. But Twilight continues to be a thorn in the side, Pilski. He has to try and get away here, but I think he just wants to fight the fight. And Forstow takes advantage of his skill set, of his aim as the duelist. And a 14th round goes the way of Forstow, continuing to put the team into the backpack. 30 kills now for this Jet.
Another map point here for ARF team. They've got to make it work, almost letting it slip through their fingers. Twilight has done such a good job just forcing things through the middle of the map and bailing out Fancy United multiple times. But again, it's the same issues plaguing them that put them so far behind in that round. The spacing is all over the place. Nia's dying for free deep into the site and there's no trade potential. Fight over A lobby again. Dart goes up over the top, the spam through from Scar. Nia's hit the deck again. Here's the set play from Fancy United, but they're already ahead of the curve. The gate crash gets punished instantly, and ARF team is all over it.
And putting it on a silver platter for them, really, isn't it? You know, Fancy, it's going to be all eyes on Yes I Can. He tries to aggress off the back of that. Our drone gets 1 and 2. Twilight once more, but it is going to be all onto Yes I Can. 1 versus 3 clutch. An opportunity, Pilski, to try and do it for his team. 6 bullets, a dream, no HP, and he gets the spot. He gets the line. Can he calm down? No, it doesn't quite occur, and Kylie can test his medal and can drag the team through alongside him. Not happening. He tries to say, yes, I can. Here, ARF hoping to potentially make this a 2-0 would be quite the statement inside this competition of VCT Challenges SEA. It's split number 3, stage number 2, map number 2. Let's lock in.
Yeah, ARF team starting things off on the defense here. A fair bit of a stronghold being constructed on this B site. You've got a star cam and a little bit of a trip there on the front side of site. As for Fancy United, does seem like might be a little bit of Soviet util towards a main here early on. Perhaps a little bit of mid control on the cards as well. The Harbor definitely changes up how you can take this map control with the high tides coming off cooldown and the cascades, things like that. There's a dark cover to the backside of mid and a cascade to be able to actually make their way up the catwalk here. See Nathan spamming away. He's He's actually over on the Yoru instead of the Sova that he was playing on Haven there. So a little bit of role flexibility on some of these players of ARF team. Spotting a couple players crossing back to B here. The gate crash is there for Nathan in towards Heaven as well. So there's 3 players ready to hold this B site here for ARF team if the execute comes in for Fancy.
The map is just so damn big, right? You know, so much space to try and pick up. A lot of eggs in the basket to be here. And that is where they're going to be ending up, right? So a minute left on the clock. Kylie is going to get that catch on the cam in just a second. But no, they're actually going to pop the high side, walk on in, try and collect that positioning right now. But waiting. Fragment goes in, does force him to move. Yes, I can, Nia opening up, but Woody's going to be there to at least trade out as well. Scar does get forced back. Woody getting some further damage, though, done as Yes, I Can. 3K for him. All unfortunately left on just Fostow to try and clutch this one out, Pilski. Spike not yet down, though, so maybe, just maybe along this line. No, it's Yes, I Can on the Harbor, the big man with the big guns. 4K for him on the pistol.
Yeah, getting himself already pretty close to a Reckoning. If he gets a little bit of an anti-eco frag on here, then that could be a great Reckoning timing. Honestly, I'd be throwing the man a weapon and saying, get in there, son, get yourself a couple of orbs, get yourself a couple anti-eco kills, and we can take the Reckoning into the bonus and actually give it a crack. Fancy, though, are playing that, you know, mostly pretty stable meta comp that you expect with the Harbor mixed in. You know, you are going to get the double in it. The knife and the dart, such a fantastic map control tool, as is the Harbor util, to be fair. Cascade and High Tide, really, really difficult to play against sometimes. On the off angle. Yes, I can. 1 closer to his Reckoning now. 2 off. If he gets 1 more orb or a kill and dies in this round, then he's going to have the Reckoning heading into round number 3.
Whole bunch of info as well on Fostow. Go in and fight this one. I don't think there's going to be a lot that he can do. That's A site completely opened up for free here as well. Nobody home to defend. Nobody home to take the post. And as the rotation comes in from Woody, he does get into position. And Fancy don't seem to be overly keen on taking this one either. So they're just going to waltz out, happy with what they've found, and just leave it for now.
Yeah, another orb for Yes, I Can. Going to be very happy with that. If he dies, gets a kill, gets a plant, then we're chilling into round 3 for Fancy United. It's going to be a pretty dangerous looking bonus round. Couple sheriffs here for ARF team. Few light armored players, and Yes, I Can quite low here. So you do have a couple of the boys here that are right for the pickings if you want to do some damage with the sheriff. Can goes deep onto B-Long. Spots out the push coming in, but it's still going to be very difficult to hold this for ARF team. Paranoid coming through on the right side, spotting out Scar on top of the books. He's taken 1 with him though, Image.
Really nicely done, dropping Cruz. And Niel wanting to try and push through. They're going to 100% this round though. Scar actually does get away with a second. I'll give a little minute to Woody. 10 seconds. They have to try and get this spike planted. The orb is going to help them out for just some time. But Woody, that's already 2 of this 1v3 so far. Pilski, but Yes, I Can. Oh, man. What do you even do there? The code protects him just long enough to find it. And this man has been hitting every single shot right now. So it was a good effort. It's going to make the bonus pretty shoddy. But Fancy United, well done on that second round.
Yeah, they had a fair few pistols anyway, so I don't really feel like it was going to be a super strong bonus, but it is going to be a little bit more expensive than they would have wanted. They're still going to invest 3 rifles here with the Reckoning and some pistols, so Fancy United giving this one a bit of a crack. Once again, fair bit of util invested towards this B side of the map. Get that Clove Smoke deep on towards middle. In fact, smokes being exchanged both sides, and once again, the Cascade going to give full mid control and deny info to ARF team. Knife does spot out Nathan, and it's actually going to prevent him from using his gate crash. He was trying to go for a pick and then TP out. He's not going to be allowed to do that. Just getting further denied information by the Cascades, but he's picked Yes, I Can straight through it. No Reckoning in this bonus round for Fancy United, and they've got a man disadvantage now.
Yeah, one of those weapons dropped has to be recovered at some point in time if they can get it out of his cold, dead hands, but the positioning obviously a little bit challenging. Good positioning for ARF to be in. You've got to be happy with that one, and for now, they're just sort of sitting, waiting, not wanting to overextend at all.
Just continually cycling these controller util in the middle, trying to deny that information. Nia creeping up behind that trip. Punished by Nathan, who's on for 2 in this round.
Another Vandal
doing
gone.
a really good job dealing with this mid-aggression. Up on top of the catwalk is Twilight. Next up to take it 2 with Nathan, and this time it's someone on Fancy United who's going to hit their shots. highly punishing Foxy, though. This is just a very disjointed round from Fancy. Never really got what they were looking for. Cruz finally hitting a shot for Fancy United as well. Trying to get up onto the site here. Scar going to drop that stun and punish Cruz for making his way onto the site. ARF team winning that first gun round with 3 up.
Great use of the Nova Pulse on the audio cue to get that stun and the round secured. Really good result in the end there from Team ARF. I'm happy with that counterplay. You know, obviously a little bit of extra investment, as you mentioned. They've still got plenty of money to go fully in with the Vandals, but yeah, a good response.
Yeah, I think it should just be some kind of set play for Fancy. Dart up over the top, maybe drone around the side, reckoning onto this A site. Like, I'm just waiting for it. They've been doing this slow mid control time and time again for the majority of these rounds. Would love to see something a little different. Woody holding the shock. There's once again the dark cover and the cascade denying that mid info. In comes the high tide.
I suggest
Going forward. There's the reckoning. Finally, they're going for this A set play, Mitch.
All happening now. 3 members here to try and deny as best as they possibly can. Tossed out. Looking for that tap through. High Tide giving him enough space, but in the end, he will be able to connect with it. Not before Nia does take down Nathan. So just waiting patiently. Woody going to get the spot. Actually drops his spike there as well as Fostow will drop another. It's going to have to be on to Twilight to see what he can do. Still Woody, this pesky member up inside Heaven. Yes, I Can does manage to slip the gap. And they're both heading around defender side and spawn here. Scar will be joining in tow. But again, already finding that reposition. Will they overlook Twilight here? I can't actually tell. He might have been...
He's DC.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Looks like he has completely. They're just going to destroy him. Now it's on to Yes I Can to try and clutch out. Oh, he's going to fade now. Great response. That's a little unfortunate. I feel bad for the side of Fancy there, but nonetheless, you know, these things do happen, and ARF team, they're going to be able to pick up that second round.
Yeah, it looks like some kind of game crash, maybe, or PC crash. I don't know if he's got the webcam or the phone. So, as mentioned, it's going to be the Sheriff's out for Fancy United.
Get out of my way.
Knives popped by Nia. Dark cover and Cascade to take mid control. Nathan once again taking point in middle here with the Outlaw. That's a cheeky little collateral for him. That's going to secure himself the dimensional drift going forward here. And Fancy, not really much they can do in that situation. Drone reveals that Nia's up middle, so they know where the jet knives are as well. He's just going bad to worse.
The Outlaw's just so damaging, right? Such a good weapon to be playing in that counter eco. There's the blades taken down. So just the 2 alive. Cruz, Twilight, back in the server now, of course. Destroy the trip. Investing a little bit more to try and find a bit of a gap here. Woody's found the timing.
One enemy remaining.
Peeking through door. We'll be able to find it. And now the last member. Just bottom of mid here is going to go up on the stairwell. It's just a second. Will he hit the shot? No. Woody. Flawless 3K. And a third round for ARF. Fancy. It's going to be that gun round where they can really try to get back into this and not try to allow ARF to run away with this map.
Yeah, Woody's on a bit of a heater, man. 9 and 3 for him. A lot of big ults here for ARF team. I think Dimensional Drift with the Hunter's Fury online going to be very difficult for Fancy United. Like so many post-plant tools here. Cosmic as well, really, really good for the retakes on the defense. Once again, mid-control going to be the name of the game here for Fancy United. They left the bomb in spawn though. Got to go back and pick that up. High Tide coming across middle. Going to once again deny that vision to Nathan, who's going to dodge the dart early on. Get the Outlaw into this round, and once again, that's the knife revealing his position and denying his ability to gate crash. Yes, I Can snuck into the vents. Drone's cleared out middle. Isn't going to spot Yes, I Can up here in towards Heaven's side. And now Fancy United prepping themselves for this A split.
Take flight.
A whole lot of control gathered here, right? You know, surely they're not going to be aware of that linchpin. I mean, Woody is keeping a firm eye on it. He actually pinged that position as well. The paranoia, it's not going to quite catch. Does tag him up, but Woody still sitting in that dark cover. Doesn't quite get it, so Yes, I Can. The denial of service. Another cascade will give them some extra time. The blind side to try and make his way through, but he doesn't want to try fight this just yet. It's the fake out to come in. Still another cascade as well to break that extra time. Kylie trying to push in. Yes, I can.
enemy remaining.
Continues this. Reckoning now popping. I mean, it is a bit over investment there when it's just Nathan, but there was a couple more alive at the point in time when he did drop that one in. So Fancy a third round. And once again, it's Yes I Can, the hero, to put the team in the pocket. 11-3 for the man so far, topping the server.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game. I think 300 ACS performance on the Sova over there on Haven. And that round is just Fancy United conditioning ARF team over and over again with that mid control, breaking the door, dark cover and cascade, high tides, just denying information, knife to follow up to limit Nathan's ability to go for a pick. And finally, that's where they use all of that conditioning. They get Yes I Can into vents. This time ARF team, though, they don't want to let them have this mid control. Nathan's going to fight forward in combination with Woody, who's backing him up. Sneaking inside the clove smoke any moment now as Fancy United making their way back towards the door. There's multiple players posted up, ready for Nathan behind the smoke. It's an easy first pick for Fancy United. Aggression from Forcetown, looking to find those opening kills that he was getting in that previous game on Haven, but he's not on the jet anymore. Not going to have that same ability to get out of dodge. He's going to really try to play out close to his one-way. Ult active. Spams Nia straight through the box. That's a fantastic opener for him, and he's able to keep himself alive and drop the smoke as well. Woody with the reactive Hunter's Fury isn't going to hit anything, and meanwhile, Fancy United trying to make their way back towards B, but look at all this util. Multiple stars, multiple players swinging out and stopping them before they can even get into the site, Mitch. There wasn't even an execute. ARF team just shuts it down.
That single ruse from Fostow has done so much, allowing ARF team to just completely lock down this B site position. 30 seconds. Foxy, Twilight trying to make their way in. They've gathered some information, and that is actually Kylie drop. That's those trips going down mid for Woody, who has been so consistent. Hits another shot. Scar's been the same. ARF team, they are looking awesome here despite the close scoreline. Some really, really good moments. And if Yes I Can isn't the hero, Fancy haven't really had an answer so far. Look at this. I mean, just again, the fact that he had enough time to drop that ruse and then go for that peak so confidently despite being in a 1v4, just solid play.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's been a hard carry performance tonight from Yes I Can, but it hasn't been enough. ARF team have been a little bit more consistent, a little bit more contribution across the board. Fancy going to change things up here, though. They've got the KO ult online, ready to kick off this B site here. Once again, it's Scar as well as the Sova with some Cypher util to hold. Cypher's on the other side of the map, so the trips are going to stay active here despite the KO ult coming in. Knife comes in, scans Woody. The scan coming through from the drone isn't good enough to get that kill. Nathan and Scar holding on for now, though.
Nia still alive. That's been the biggest thing here, right? Now he can jump up on towards the top of the site. Has to try and get onto this line. Doesn't quite connect with anything just yet. Just going to utilize that cascade, the high tide. Nia wanting to try and get in. They've completely overlooked him into that dimensional drift there now. And Nia does hit one, but he's traded. Twilight, 1 versus 3. Information already spotted. Dimensional drift is good. And Nathan can just get straight up in his grill with that shorty. And another round goes the way of ARF. 3 alive, 5 rounds. Consistency is key.
Yeah, very heads up play. To throw that Cypher trip down on the front side of B and just play on the opposite side of the map, trying to play around that KO ultimate, which wasn't even popped to be fair, but if he was playing backside, would have definitely got hit by the knife. Fancy United evaluating their options here. Can't afford to go for the force. Gonna have to, once again, go back down to the heart bite. But ARF team, very consistent. After losing that pistol, man, 5-1 from the last 6. They are really starting to run away with the piss right now.
They've just been doing the right thing. Aware of the game, aware of their rotations, happy to sort of lock down that B site with the Cypher utility. Even leaving mid open a little bit more now this round 2.
I've actually cooked the veto. Fancy picked Haven. And ARF has picked Abyss. So
yeah.
This is actually ARF team's pick.
Here.
Yep.
Dude, I was saying on the desk, like, this is... I thought this was Fancy's pick.
Look,
or did I say it the opposite way? I don't know, bro. I'm absolutely cooked.
You said this was it, and I've just, like, been so used to you having the big brain that I'm like... I'm just not going to question it. The man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yeah, it's... Either way, ARF team looking solid on it. After picking up Haven, they're going to be brimming with confidence because at least from what I can see from the video, that was definitely Fancy's pick. Which is interesting that they picked that into this series, given how their domestic results have gone. But anyway, 4-on-5 here. Fancy's found the first pick. Gonna kick off this A execute. Cloudburst gonna deny vision here to the operator. Push back
30
is
seconds
Nathan. He's
left.
gonna have to play retake with force down. He's not interested in playing retake. He's
Not
gonna
dead
dive
yet.
straight through. Yeah, he pulls the ult, but straight into multiple players. I'm surprised he's even alive, honestly, Mitch.
He's got it, and the
One enemy
little heal
remaining.
doesn't quite connect, but it's
Spike
enough to just
down
keep the team
A.
interested, right? Cruz has to try and bail out of here, has to
No,
try and
he's
pop the
missed it.
ultimate. No, he got denied. He got denied. The shot was quick enough. And yeah, you know, you're right, of course. It missed the spike, but maybe just a little bit of panic. Not enough time. Oh, man. Cruz. Hurting.
Yeah. He missed it.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
The panic.
Yeah, that was a crazy round. Fancy United going to take a timeout. Having a rough time on the attacking side of Abyss here. But they're finally getting the guns back together right now, Mitch. Close to another reckoning. Null Command's online. It's a big ult to actually be able to kick off a bit of an execute here. Great to see both of these teams as well on the boot camp. For most of the boys on ARF team as well as Fancy United, I've seen even some of the unside teams playing together on boot camp, playing in the same space. Something that is always fantastic about the Asia region.
So often getting to see it. You know, most teams also putting on the full kit for their games as well. Taking these matches very, very seriously. And as you should be, right? You know, that's the whole thing. If you're going to be competing at the top, if you're going to be playing with the best in the world, or, you know, you've got aspirations to get there, you may as well show up to the server every single time with the same level of confidence, with the same level of seriousness. And, yeah, just drive yourself forward, because that's how the best become the best. But money, it's good both sides. Not really a spot to shake it. ARF is just far ahead of the curve now, though.
Yeah, they've won so many rounds. They've had the opportunity to build up this economy. Once again, it looks like it's going to be this A plate. Trips are over there. Cypher's literally in spawn. So the trips are going to be active despite the KO ult coming in. Information denial in middle is being attempted here by Yes I Can. Nathan on the offline. If he gets hit by the KO ult, he's not going to be able to TP out. Drone's going to come through.
Portal closed.
Force on the line as well. Drone dealt with by the operator. Out comes Nia as well as that knife. And unfortunately, Nathan doesn't get too much done. Paranoia's hitting Force down as well. Out comes the Ult Command. This has been a very
Woody.
nice play from Fancy United.
I've got to say, didn't even have the gate crash out, so couldn't get away. Woody does manage to at least find one, but with that null command pulsing,
Spike
Standing
planted.
ahead.
dark cover down, will look to fade in a second.
Shock dart.
Recon Bolt doesn't quite get any information. The Shock Bolt doesn't quite go the distance either. So it's going to be this retake here. They will buy a little bit of extra time. Our drone goes out, gets some information as to where this KO is. And he's not exactly in a position to try and defend either. And that's Kylie.
Last
Got to be
player
able to find him. But Woody going down to the cyber cage, not going where he wanted it to. That's going to be Twilight picking up his 3K. And finally, Pilski around back on the board for Fancy. Is it going to be too late? Probably not. A couple more rounds left in this half.
Yeah, like you said. And this could be a reset round for them, right? Like, if they win this round, they break half team's economy, and then we're looking at a 6-6. Very doable. Knives are coming out for Nia. Quite close to the Reckoning and the Hunter's Fury. Scar's still sitting on that Cosmic, waiting for the right opportunity to use that in the retake. But Fancy United are not playing this post-plant lineup comp that a lot of teams like to run on this map. So, less usefulness to be able to get that Cosmic off on defense. Nathan, different approach here. Door gets broken. High Tide's over on the water. Being pinged up here by Fancy United. Spam coming through, almost taking him out right off the rip. He's forced to gate crash out and forfeit control of middle.
No control now fostered in this position. It's been relatively common, but Woody has been doing at least a pretty good job trying to fight around this door position. He actually might find some good timing here. He does get a shot onto Nia. Doesn't have to overextend now. Gets the bolt off and falls away. Recon, no information gathered. Now they can just settle down with this advantage.
Yeah, Fancy still not organizing themselves enough. Clove Smoke denying Twilight the ability to go on through. Force Towers up on top site, or rather back site. Just posted on that position. Fancy now grouped up towards A main. Gonna try to get on in here. ARF team pretty spread around the map. Forstow's just trying to play for a pick, a little bit of information and get out. Metal being considered. Out comes the dart as well as the cascade. And he's gonna stick around for more, Mitch.
Oh, wouldn't he? He's been hit some serious shots, and there's the metal. He's going to be able to get the overheal off the back of it as well. That spike does get planted, but how early are they going to walk on up? Yes, I Can hits the shot again. Cruz also able to find one with the response, but now it's just onto Yes, I Can and Cruz in the 3-on-2. Position is found. Woody keeps being consistent. This pesky old Sova has been doing it all for ARF team. And another round will be secured. There's 7, and they are looking for more. An 8-4 would be such a satisfying position. Picking into this map, taking the Haven, knowing that Fancy hasn't got a solid win rate there. They've really, really sort of thought about this veto. It's all been working out for them here, Mitch. I'm really enjoying what I'm seeing from the Indonesian side.
For sure. Avoiding getting reset by Fancy United there as well is pretty massive. Going to allow them to bring a gun round into round number 12 here with a couple of big ults to boot. Reckoning was used over on that A side of the map last time for Fancy. Looks like they want to bring it to Pete. And once again, it's going to be Scar and Kylie with a pretty big setup. Gate Crash is in position there for Nathan to try to help out the boys too.
Not there.
Patience. Just keeping that position locked. Now as they pop the ult, they try to get that further information. Reckoning going absolutely nuclear here, but just not really doing a whole lot with that tag up. No information gathered further. Nathan drops one back, but again, they just flashed up, blinded completely. It's the damage from Woody again. Pilski, this man has been looking so good, and with an 8-4 half here, ARF team, they're looking solid and trying to... We're back, Pilski. 8-4 is the half. ARF team looking to try and close out this evening 2-0. And after, you know, our sort of predictions went on the eye of Fancy, you know, maybe some question marks are being put against this roster that it currently sits at. But for now, it's mid-control, mid-aggression. They are up so early, and that's a great flash in. Kylie unable to do anything.
Yeah, you had that high tide coming on in and just created a little bit of a pocket for Nia to sneak up. Dark cover to the backside. Flash on through. Double controller with a perfectly timed flash to set Nia up for success. He's trying to stay alive now, and Yes, I Can trying to bail him out, but Forstow punishes.
This guy's been looking good. And I really don't see it slowing down. Picks up the ghost, walks on in. Knows exactly where Nia is. It's a great flash, but Scar's actually got this flank, so they're going to really start to aggress and collapse on in. It's going to be an all-out bloodbath. Forstow gets another second frag, but taken down by Cruz. Now Scar completely overlooked. They don't have this information. He does miss the shot, but he will connect. And now they're onto that line. He has to try and isolate this position. Low is Foxy. Can drop the star, can go for that plant, can go for the pickup, but he gets the additional shot. Now picks up the spike, 25 points of HP, and he can look to actually take the duel. I was going to say he might want to hightail it out of there. But the bruises continue to be popped.
Yep. 3 stars. Ready here for Scar.
20 seconds.
Dart's coming off cooldown in 10 seconds here for Twilight, and he's put himself in the perfect position. Should be able to catch Scar on the cross here. I'm not even sure he has time to go into Astral form here and place any stars down. He's going to try to put one down on the cross, but he can't even make it into the Nebula. Pistol win for Fancy with a beautiful set play across middle there. Loved what I saw, just a creep up catwalk from Nia. KO flash through the high tide and dark cover on the backside to prevent a trade.
Always love a little bit of aggression, especially on a map like this, right? You know, it's such a large map. Still only the 2 sites, but some proactivity on that defender-sided round can reap some rewards, as we just saw right now. But also, there is a cheeky little pause coming through. We'll get some information as to what that is in just a second. Technical pause. But, yeah, I don't know. Good little change up. Because, yeah, Fancy, I feel like, couldn't really find their feet in that previous half, Mitch. You know, the defensive side maybe is going to bring some benefits for them. Just on the offense, you know, once ARF got rolling on that defense, it was just so hard to break through.
Yeah, bro, Woody, he's fucking throwing hands today.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, legit, like, came straight out of Toy Story and just is absolutely destroying everyone right now. Pretty flexible in terms of his roles, plays a fair bit of a nit. Playing some breach, things like that. We saw that over there on Haven. Killjoy's there as well. But here on Abyss, man, looking very at home on the Sova. Gonna have to have some more work to do, though. As he's had a great game so far, but this game's gonna start to get a little bit tighter with Fancy winning that defensive side of pistol. And now they're gonna go into the anti-eco here. There's a couple of sheriffs invested from ARF team. Now once again, this high tide and the KO knife with the smoke towards the backside seems to be the go-to for Fancy. And it's working out once again. Nathan trying to force his way through that controller utility, and he's punished for it straight away.
Just letting it slip. Yes, I can. Got to be careful that he doesn't overextend here, but he's going to connect with the shot, obviously. When you got the team there with you, it's no real stress at all. And Kylie, whilst he will hit one, the second is an opportunity. Got to be careful again. You know, this is where Yes I Can could kind of give up a bit too much, but he's super keen to continue to fight this fight. Does actually get scanned as well. A little bit unfortunate there, so he's just going to drop away. It's really just about doing as much damage as you possibly can here, Kylie. Pulling away in a moment like this is always challenging. Going to pop up the high tide, so it's the round done. Well done from Fancy. 3 alive. Bonus is going to be reasonable. Guardians all around. And they are slowly, but surely stepping their way back into this map.
Yeah, Sheriff's going to be dropped as well. Courtesy of being picked up by our team. But yeah, Kylie's some great damage. Couple of kills going his way. Getting himself close to a neural theft, which in some of these early gun rounds can be a really good timing to take advantage of. Looks like name of the game for ARF team.
Right here.
Is going to be this B control. Do have Cruz and Twilight over here. Mid control going to be taken by Fancy right off the rip. There is the consume from Scar. Gate crash coming in. Drone comes through. Paranoia in response from Cruz, but given absolutely nothing by ARF team.
Fight as best as he can. Kylie getting one back. Cruz only able to afford himself with the one frag. Twilight gets a response though. So at least into the 3-on-3, they can kind of cool the jets for just a second. I'm liking this position as well from Foxy. All the way up on the line. Has to be careful. Yes, I Can. Does connect. But there's Scar with 2. And Woody's going to spot him out as well. Why am I even questioning Woody at this point in time, you know? He's not going to... Of course he's going to clear out Foxy, right? So, 9th round for ARF. Again, only the bonus, so you're not going to think too much into it. It's all going to come down eyes onto this gun round here, Bilski, to see if ARF can take 10 or if Fancy want to give us a second serious map.
And this is what Fancy does all the time. They have these little early routines that they do on a lot of different maps. This time you see the same util into mid, the dark cover, the high tide, and the KO knife, and they mix in different plays around that. That time, tried to stick Nia down middle to try to go for the B flank and kind of crunch with those B players, and they gave it a crack, but didn't quite work out. Now, a lot of players invested in towards middle here from Fancy. Once again, Yes I Can. Going to walk all the way down middle with that dart and have this early flank over towards B. You can see Kylie trying to come up the road. Might be a pretty decent timing for him. Cruz in the meanwhile has found Forced Out. He's trying to play in towards the back of the site, but Nathan's found his way behind him and he's going to clear out B.
Great bit of positioning there, rotating all the way through. Now up in heaven, trying to force the narrative even further. Fake out, not going to be popped. It does look to fade, but Nia shoots around the head completely. Nice shot to respond. Now back into this 3-on-3. There's a chance for Fancy here.
No charges left.
Woody's on the site. And Woody has been popping the hell off today. ARF team playing this very paced back with Woody just trying to play these off angles. He catches that face full of that flash, but still able to spam away and take 2 with him. He shouldn't have even got 1 in that position. Twilight now trying to pick up the pieces, caught in between a rock and a hard place, takes out Woody, but there's so much time picked off the spike. He goes on the aggressive, picks up Scar, but he's not ready for Kylie here. Who, even though he's whiffing his shots towards heaven, it's just too long gone. And ARF team are going to win that round up to double digits for them. And Woody once again getting away with bloody murder, mate. 20 bomb, I think, for him in 16 rounds now. What a game on the Sova he's having.
Just a gamer in general. That's all I really have to say about it, right? He's been hitting his shots. He's just been consistent. He's doing exactly what you need your Sova to do, utility-wise and responsibility-wise. 19-10. Overtaking Yes I Can now as well, Pilsky.
Cosmic's still there for Scar, so it can be used to run some pretty dirty fakes on Abyss. Yeah, we'll cycle in the stars as well. Once again, this mid routine being run by Fancy United. Blades have been popped by Nia. There's that Cosmic across the front side of B.
Oh,
Nia
man.
punished by Kylie. Cruz can't hold on in the back to the side either. ARF team are folding Fancy
planted.
United. Yes, I can gets his Reckoning online, but this is a pretty difficult post plant to navigate now for the defense.
Do you even go for it? Do you take the gamble? You know, the money isn't great, obviously. It's a real opportunity here. They can maybe try and find this 4v3 and get something done with it to, you know, bring some life back into this game, but they lose this. Knifing up so close, running out. Yes, I can. Twilight finding it 3-on-3 now. Maybe it is worth popping this Reckoning, but they're going to not use it. They're not going to hold on to it. Hunter's Fury also available, but Twilight just wants to try and get onto the spike.
Player standing.
Fragment goes in, Twilight goes around, and somehow, some way, Pilski, without either of those ultimates, Fancy have found their way back into a round where they had no business returning response.
That's just great util from Foxy. Credit where credit's due. Flash up over the top towards the backside of the site. Catches Nathan. They're able to isolate him and pick him off, swinging with the KO flash. Fragment towards the bottom side of B, as well as a follow-up flash, is really just great paced util to help facilitate that clean retake that Fancy were able to make happen. A 3-on-4, completely out of position, open plant for ARF team. And Fancy United make it look pretty routine to make it back in there. It's not that easy at all, but they made it look so.
16 assists for Foxy, Pilski. That's what you want from your KO. Up close now.
I mean, it's the same thing again. The amount of first deaths that this man has conceded so far in this series is pretty ridiculous. Hunter's Fury coming out here for Twilight. Foxy still applying the press, but punished by Force now. He's going to use the pick-me-up, but unfortunately gets caught by that shock from Twilight, so doesn't pop the ult. He would have been way too far away to be able to run it all the way down the map. Would have had a bit of a marathon on his hands. Half team surveying their options. And look, Woody's alive. Woody's got space on A.
I was about to say
So
the
it's
exact same
doable.
thing. Woody not dead yet. Okay, never mind. We disregard. We've set him up for failure there.
Yeah, he is my GOAT, but
No
unfortunately,
more to oppose us.
you know, some people prefer Buzz Lightyear or, you know, Mr. Potato Head. What's your favorite, Mitch?
I was thinking, what's the big teddy bear in Toy Story 3 that's like the dictator of the kindergarten? He was
Toy
cool.
Story 3?
Yeah.
Who's even seen that?
Oh, come on, man.
We're only here for the classics.
You're younger than me, dude. Let's not go there.
A lot of ults online in this round, Mitch. Dimensional Drift there for Nathan, and the Hunter's Fury got the knock dead yet forced out. Same mid routine for Fancy United. They've got the Reckoning. They're pushing straight up the guts yet again. Dash down from Nia trying to use that Sova dart to be able to get a scan. That's definitely been heard by Nathan. ARF team well aware that they've lost the middle of the map here, but they're just going to pick up the pace. In comes the execute onto B, drone up on through. Big rotations coming in for Fancy United. They might want to flood with the Reckoning, and Nia still ready for Nathan in middle. Great patience is going to find the first kill this time.
Yeah, finally getting that opening pick, right? He's been losing it time and time again, so a big booster of confidence now. Kylie knows exactly where he is, but he's scared to cross. So Nia has all of that control now. It's going to kind of force them into this B lane. Are they going to be able to connect with it? They've got a lot of utility, a lot of space to go with.
Like I said, bro, the Reckoning and the KO ult is going to make this a impossible retake to stop. In comes the KO ult already. All of ARF team set up inside of the site. They're going to go on the front foot.
Look at
Kylie
Kylie, yeah.
looking for a duel, but that's just the KO drops, and that's unfortunately not going to be a kill that they can deal with, that they can potentially punish
Kylie.
as the Reckoning comes out. He's beat res, but Kylie is still on for a couple.
Kylie! Not quite making it. We'll be looking for it, but Fosdale's still going, and Woody's still there as well. Nia able to get something on this flank. He needs to step up. He needs to make it work as a duelist that hasn't really been sort of stepping up. Newest addition to the team. He gets close. Tries to connect onto Woody. Hits the shot. Only one more needed. Pilski and Fosdale. 30 points of HP. Tries to clear, but Fosdale is going to be the superior this time. You can't play my jet. I took it strong last map. And Fosdale to close with the 3K there. That is beautiful stuff from ARF team. 11 rounds secured. Now Nia, despite finding so much, Kylie just being able to take that early investment, go into Link, get the opening drop onto the KO. Just keeping them entertained for long enough there, Pilski, to, you know, throw the retake off slightly.
yeah, I mean, you got to do something special
No
when
charges.
you're dealing with a Reckoning KO on the retake to be able to get
Right here.
back and stop the other team from getting back in. It's going to be quite tough.
Same again
I mean,
from
for
Nia
the-
as well.
yeah, 50th time this man's pushed down middle, but that's the game plan for Fancy United. Just applying that pressure. Backed up by a lot of players. ARF team looking to go head-to-head with them in this round, though. Quite heavily contesting middle themselves. Nia gonna
Here.
bide his time. Play inside of the vents. There's another follow-up dart cover. Carly can see everything in middle. There's the dart. Is going to be denied by the cloudburst. I'm not sure if that would have been seen. Oh, he's seen the hat. It's a nice looking
Oh,
hat, but
man.
unfortunately, Nia's not going to get a chance to wear it because his head's been banged clean off. Up comes
Yeah.
the neural theft as well, and now ARF team can read the positioning of the defense, and they're just going to go straight into a B hit.
How do they defend here? Cruz is going to have to try and run out the dimensional drift from Knife and
Spike
Spots,
down.
but yes, I can. I was just about to mention it. He hasn't been having the greatest side. Hasn't been really doing a whole lot here, but the 3K and the 4K. The big man is looking for more, looking to try and respond here. Kylie has to hold on, but it's going to be Twilight to take it, and Fancy will get another round. Literally the second I was about to mention it, Mitch, that Yes I Can had fallen completely off on his defensive side. He shows up to the party, and he brought snacks and beers.
All the boys love Yes I Can. And it's really it feels like every time Fancy United's about to lose, this man goes absolutely nuclear, and that's another perfect example of it. Just running in through Heaven's side and just hitting every shot with the Vandal, breaking the money of ARF team as well, Mitch. You can't have much more impact than that, than just run in and get a 4K and break the attacking side's money to give yourselves double digits. KO Knife, dig down middle. He is just going to walk straight through and punished by Force Tower. It's only a classic. He's handed them a Vandal. Out comes the drone to be able to secure that rifle. And Fancy don't have any control of middle. Clove Smoke's going to secure it here for ARF team. They've got the Hunter's Fury. Scar can get himself a Cosmic if he picks up that orb as well. He's got a fair few stars to play with. Pretty winnable round here for the attack.
Another one.
That is even better.
Oh, man, you'd
Straight
be
down middle.
just burning, right, if Fancy lose this round.
Yeah. They just put themselves in the pole position to potentially win. Oh, Foxy's through A main, but he's been spotted out by the cam there of Kylie. So ARF team feeling like they want to go and re-clear that space. The Soviet's going to stick around here. Maybe Woody going to sell a bit of a one-man fake, which is going to keep both Cruz and Yes I Can interested. So it's just Foxy to be able to try to hold this A side by himself. That's a nicely timed knife. I think it
30
did actually
seconds
scan
left.
Forced Out. Or maybe it didn't, because Yes I Can staying put. So a bit of a false sense of info, unfortunately, for Fancy United. Knife doesn't hit anybody. And ARF team going to walk into this A site for free.
At the very least, getting that plan. Obviously, Nathan with the Vandal at the helm. He's going to start clearing, going to start gearing. Foxy also spotted. Does get connected on two.
Spike
I don't even
planted.
know if there's any chance back into this round, is there? You know, there's maybe an opportunity. Yes, I can try his best to go big. But the gate crash is there if he wants to try and fight this, if he wants to get into position. He's only low HP, 5. Actually swap the weapon over. Could potentially go for it. The blind side is there.
player
But at least keep Cruz entertained. And 5 alive. Like, are you kidding? All I can see, Mitch, again, you know, you look up to everyone.
Match point.
That cross, bottom mid, is from Nia. And it's just, sure, it's a game plan. Sure, it's a part of the strategy, whatever. But when it happens, you know, every damn round, it's just ridiculous.
It is, yeah, but I don't think that's on Nia necessarily. Like,
No.
Okay, to be fair, last game he was doing a little bit of charity work. I'm not going to lie, but
For
this
sure.
game, it's definitely the fact that like it's just the same rounds again and again for Fancy United. It's like, where's the depth, boys?
There's none. It's
like,
just
all
insanity, right?
That's a cool setup, guys. This is a really cool setup and a great start to the round. Like, where's the A main control? Little cascade deep into A main, take that control early, rotate off. Where's the high tide? Down bottom side of B, little cheeky setup there. It's like, bro, we can't just keep running the same round over and over again and not expect ARF team to adapt. And they're just finding these opening kills every single round.
Yeah, I think if we look back on the stats to, you know, equalize it, I think it's happened once out of 10 that he's actually got the opening pick and got that control. But then ARF have been able to adapt off the back of it too. So another opening frag, you know, one more round to take. They're in the pole position to close out this series 2-0.
Yeah, Cosmic's there. Hunter's Fury. A lot of great tools to be able to close it out. Cruz going to try to contest. TP lands behind Nia in towards heaven side. Cruz on the off angle. Catches them and smokes out. Paranoia through. Nia's getting some dirty work done as well. Picking up Woody. Trying to hold them off, but now TP behind him, punished as well. Fancy United might not be done yet. All down to Kylie in a 1-on-3, and he's whiffed too many shots there. Twilight on the rotation through a critical multi-frag. Fancy, after a slip up against the Eco, have equalized towards the double digits and are 2 away from pushing us into the second overtime in a row here.
I just have to say it. You know, Nia not pushing down mid that round, being alive to sit in heaven and take the shot. They win the round. How simple.
Imagine being alive.
Yeah,
you know,
crazy.
Just being alive to shoot back at the other team. As a player as sharp as Nia from what we saw in that bloody Sheriff. The 1-on-3 with
Take me back.
Even. Oh boy. Inject that straight into my veins, bro. I don't need anything else. Punished. Nia's going to win an opener. Half players not started well here from half team. Yeah, Fancy. It's a bit more of a passive approach this time. They've thrown the same high tide, and yes, I can. There's another peek in middle. Things going well for Fancy United. Foxy's found one as well. This round's a little too easy.
It's going to go down to the wire again, isn't it? Full regulation. 24 rounds required. And a simple team ace. All 5 alive. They've done absolutely everything right here. Half team are obviously going to have the cash money to get back into this one. They've got a couple of ultimates, but the exact same could be said for Fancy. There is not really going to look like there's a null command coming online to support that reckoning, but I don't know, man. There's a lot that's there for ARF, so it's going to come all down to the wire as per usual. It's what we were hoping for in a series like tonight, right?
Yeah, round 24 here. Cosmic and the Hunter's Fury, great retake. Great tools to be able to get onto the site here for ARF team. Big fight over A main for Fancy United. ARF team are taking B. It's going to be a free site for them. There's that high tide through middle. Fancy changing up the setup though. In comes the Cosmic. It's going to be a retake right off the rip. ARF team going to be able to get into this B site for free. Yes, I can. Just trying to gather some information. Drone dealt with. Rotations coming in thick and fast for Fancy United. They've got the Hunter's Fury and the Reckoning to try to get back in, but ARF team with the Hunter's Fury for their after plant and some stars to potentially be set up on the spike. Big wrap around from Kylie here, and middle spotted out by Nia though. Another opening pick for him.
I was going to say, they had so much time for this rotate. It was going to be so challenging, but now they've given that little extra pick. Knife'em stuck. Fostow gets one, a second, and will they get more? No. It's the not dead yet. He's managing to pop that. Will he be able to find anything? No. Scar, 1 versus 3. Does have some utility, does have a star, but pushing into position. Can he find it in this fight? No. He's tapping. He's doing his best. A third. Oh, come on. No. He manages to stick it. He gets it done, and Twilight lives up to his name. I'm Team Jacob right now.
Overtime.
I hate that reference, but it's overtime, baby. And we go again.
I don't know, Mitch. The only thing Twilight related is the time that I can remember asking you to climb on my back, but that's probably not a safe for broadcast story. Huge clutch attempt there for Scar. And,
oh man.
Look, you saw those bullets tracing around the head of the player, defusing inside of that smoke. You almost saw it come together for ARF team to win themselves a 2-0 here, but Fancy United are willing themselves forward, keeping themselves going here. What a bloody series we've got on our hands, and we go again. Fancy United, a little bit of mid control for them. High tide this time instead of the dark cover cascade. There's the knife coming through to once again confirm that Nathan's playing in the middle of the map for ARF team. Fancy United, after a little bit of pressure around the map, some spamming in middle, some spamming over towards B. They're going to organize themselves for this A execute in the mid round. It's actually a pacing that they haven't really been hitting too often. Force out's going to refresh the one way. Rotation coming back across from Woody. Dart not up yet, but in 8 seconds it will be, and that might actually be a pretty nice timing to find a spam kill here through the smokes.
information gathered off the owl drone either. So just giving themselves some additional time. 50 seconds left on the clock. Fost out. Been playing so well. Another bruise. Just try and buy some additional time, but he's taken down. Woody, have you got anything for us here, my friend? The dark cover will put him into an awkward position. Does tag up, does do some additional damage, but Woody's also getting taken low.
Right here.
This is the thing. Has to
30
try and
seconds
shoot
left.
out those bolts now. Try and find some sort of damage. Does actually spot the head of Foxy. Has to reposition.
Spike planted.
Oh, all of these players on Fancy United, all backside except for Cruz, who's flanking in through the
One
vents.
enemy remaining.
Fake out dealt with.
Oh,
All of the
man.
kills going the way of Fancy United, putting themselves out in front. Scar stuck behind the high tide. Nothing for him to do in a 1-on-5. His 1-on-3 attempt was valiant, but this is a bit of a tall tale if you ask me. Fancy United, a beautiful attacking side round in this first overtime. Little bit of
sides.
mid-pressure.
Match
Little bit of
point.
B pressure, and they hit A on a nice timing that they hadn't done in regulation. Catch out, forced out. They deal with the dart in from Heaven's side from Woody. Really, really nice cloud burst from Nia to be able to keep the boys safe. And Fancy United now on the verge of securing a third map in this series. Going to force out an ARF team timeout.
Just crazy, the shift, you know, in what we're seeing. It's like sometimes Fancy are absolutely all over the shop. The other times they're regimented and looking like they're just in complete control. And that's what we saw in a round like that, right? 5 alive, completely flawless. To be able to take that level of confidence into an overtime round, you know, and when you're looking down the barrel of a lost series 0-2 in the opening game of this stage, going into that lower bracket, having to deal with whoever comes through there and who's hungry to get through. So ARF team, they use their final timeout. There is a third map for them available, right, if they need it. That's where it's going to end up on Sunset, potentially. But still, there's a chance. If they win this one, they can go again and see what they can find. But for now, Fancy, they want to make this into that third map of Sunset.
Hey, they won it last time in, what was it? Yeah, the second overtime ARF team. So
Here.
Yep.
let's see it. Back over onto the offense. Fancy United. I don't know. Have you seen this round before, Mitch? It's a little high tide,
have,
dark
yeah.
cover, KO knife. Jet walks up, catwalk. I think I've seen that before. The ARF team, they're going to be given full control of this A site. And they're going to take it full free into a 5-on-5 retake yet again. Plant going down for Woody in a pretty open position on the left side, actually. And it seems like ARF team wants to stay inside the site and try to fight together.
The main thing is that Nia is still alive up mid, so he's going to be able to get that rotation in. They've actually popped down the dark cover there inside main, so it's going to be an all-out brawl. They're really kind of getting ready for it here. Kylie, though, so ready for it. The paranoia was narrowly mistimed, and Nia now having to try and come in on that flank. He's going to be last alive. Crazy sort of shift of the tides, isn't it? You know, 5 alive for Fancy in the previous round. Now potentially 5 alive for ARF team in this round. Nia has been caught, has been spotted, goes down ARF. The timeout is exactly what they need, and they are able to open up with that
Switching
round.
sides.
They immediately read the same old thrown out by Fancy, take A for free, and completely lock it down.
Yeah, and they just play so disruptively. Like, Kylie can't see a thing there. Still able to just, with good crosshair placement and awareness, spam multiple players through the paranoia, maybe seeing an outline or two. And then the cascade is not enough for Fancy to get back out Heaven. And here we have, I don't even know what that is. I think old mate Tactipear's getting his soul sucked out of his body. That's what happens when you go to 4 overtimes in the first 2 maps.
Well, that's it. We told about it being a potential 6 mapper this evening. And now in that position, Cruz actually crossing. He's got to be so careful to watch those lines. He does shift around into an awkward space. He's spotted. That's a great spot onto Nia there. Now looking to try and get one back. He taps away. Scar able to control the crosshair. Yes, I can. Has to try and lift big again. This man has been doing so well. He's been the linchpin. He gets a second, a third. There it is. The hero that they need, the hero that they deserve. It's enough to pop the reckoning, and Foster just basically has to take this one. That spike is still yet to be planted now. Pilski, yes, I can. Also the man to do it. So he is going to be able to get that one locked in. And they can slot back into some reposition. It's a hard retake into 2-on-2.
Yeah, darts there for Woody. He's creeping up. Over on Book's side
Revealing
here.
area.
Yes, I can.
One
My dart
enemy
coming off
remaining.
cooldown sooner
Got
rather
it.
than later. He's not going to get a chance to do
One
it. Out
enemy
comes the
remaining.
dart from Twilight. Woody tried to deal with that. Can't do it. Forced out on the
Oh
defuse.
my
It's
God.
perfect crosshair placement from Twilight to put Fancy out in front again.
Switching sides.
What can't
Match
Yes I
point.
Can and Twilight do? 30 and 17, 29 and 13.
Bloody 60 kills between them, bro.
It's just ridiculous, right? The dynamic duo between these two is unmatched.
It's the Vietnamese last dance, bro. It's just like Jordan and Pippen fist bumping every round.
Mate.
Except with iced coffee in the other hand, and they're sitting on some little stools.
Yeah. Love a good second breakfast. 11sies. Narrowly missing that shot. Blinded up completely near. He's up in position. He's spotted. He's got the scan. This is the control that they were looking for. Gets two. Woody gets the trade out, but Foxy
standing.
well plays with utility and Fancy. That's enough for them to close it out. It is going to go the distance. It is going to go to map number 3.
They tried to go toe-to-toe with Nia on the Neon, who was pretty fantastic on Haven. Hit or miss, but yeah, had some incredible moments. That 1v3 was absolutely lights out.
Absolutely. All I can say is Komodo will be fuming right now. Vice is an agent that he's been desperately looking to cast in a serious game like this. So we're going to get it. We're going to sit on top of it. And yeah, look, I'm really loving the fact of this game. You know, when we get the boring sort of old comps that have been tried and tested, it's when we see this new extra little bit of spice where they're really leaning in to the new opportunities. And, you know, for Fancy United, it's only really, when you think about it, that Breach and Sova, they've been out for a little bit. So everything else is fresh and new, and it's going to be that quick look into B main, and Cruz is going to get the hell straight out of there.
Yeah, deals with the cam, gets out of dodge. Full Stout could have definitely caught him on the retreat there if the fault line comes out, but half team going to be happy with the B main control. And there it is, that Arc Rose on a long there, being held by Yes I Can. Who does have all of that A main control and information. ARF team taking middle in the meanwhile. Nia getting up inside the dark cover. There's a setup inside of Market. They're both getting caught by the relay bolt and the paranoia, but no one's gotten taken out. It's only Knighted to find a singular
enemy
kill,
remaining.
and Twilight comes up huge inside Market. This man's peddling all kinds of goods right now.
No wonder the ladies are obsessed with him. Living up to his namesake. 3v1 for Kylie. Twilight on for that 3k. How much can you clear? How much can you look for here? A little bit of extra damage onto Nia. Got to be careful that you don't overextend this, but that's great use of the shock bolt there. Awesome round from Twilight, who was a hero in the previous.
One step closer.
And again, taking a step forward for Fancy, opening up the bank account here on Sunset.
Yeah, I mean, dude, a 4K in that position. They've got hit with a relay bolt and the paranoia, but you have to say, it's got to be that Nebula for Cruz that keeps them safe there, right? Like, they're getting collapsed upon by that market set play from ARF where all of that utility hits, but the Nebula in response from Cruz on the front side of market keeps all the boys nice and safe, and it's just not something that you're used to playing against, really. There's a shot going down the bottom side of A-Long there, usually used to clear the trip, but in this case actually zones the attackers back a little bit. The wall placed deep down A-Long with the vines behind it and the arc row is going to be quite hard to get up through A-Main. Having a little bit of a look into B-Main there as Kylie gets a little bit of a tap through.
She is out too. See you later.
Yeah, he's trying to bloody B-hop into A-Main there, trying to make something happen up behind his dark cover, but he also gets denied entry, so couple of doormen on either side of the map for Fancy United, not letting ARF team get too interested in anything too much, and let a group up towards B and give this side a crack, maybe try to get themselves a plant.
Gonna have to deal
Obscuring
with
vision.
that extra one. Nebula now popped. Twilight getting that opener. Foster going straight down, and look at the damage. Man, oh man, he just drags the bloody ghost into the next round. I mean, it's pistols again, but the level of confidence that you need to continue forward doing stuff like this, Scar has got nothing he can do. And Nia's going to quickly take him
already?
down.
What was it, a 4K, then a 3K, and then he died?
He
I
would.
think that's 8, right? Have I done maths correctly?
I think you have. He should.
Oh, look
There
at
it
that.
is.
Into
Yeah.
round 3. That is crazy. That is a
7-1.
crazy Hunter's Fury timing.
Man.
into the bonus, man. You almost never see that. He's got the Outlaw out as well. Very winnable round for Fancy United, quite honestly. Bulldogs out for Nia.
Come into the unknown.
Once again, seems like Yes I Can gonna set up the majority of that Vice utility over towards this A side of the map. Gonna try to secure control. Arc Rose goes in. Combination with the Star. I don't mind this comp from Fancy. Shoddy comes out trying to clear the cam, and indeed Twilight does so. Foxy up top mid inside of that dark cover, joined by Nia. Once again, a lot of presence and emphasis there in middle for Fancy United. An ARF team going to slink away back in towards their spawn and try to get a bit of an A main take. So let's see, how good is the Vice here at holding down A main solo with the Arc Rose and all of the util setup?
She is in the exact same spot. And that kind of the team. But obviously Fost out is just looking to bait that right now. The Razor Vine isn't going to connect on anything really. So it's a good use of that utility there.
Wow.
Able to find it with the flashpoint. Yes, I Can goes for the swing and will get the ding.
Yeah, there's
great
stun
opener
as well. Yeah, Flashpoint. I mean, all of the util keeps them back. Flashpoint and stun. The Vines go up again. Another Flashpoint just zoning the back. Aftershock. So much breach util. So oppressive and difficult to make your way through A main right now. Yes, I Can is still on this aggressive line, just jiggling away. He's going to tuck himself back into elbow. That kind of leaves Foxy high and dry there. Stunning themselves, though, is not the way you want it to be getting through elbow. And Yes, I Can is punishing them at every twist and turn. Kylie, spike dropped in elbow. 12 seconds on the clock. It's not coming together. That's a nice kill onto Yes, I Can. I don't think he's even got time for the spike. No, he's going to have to turn away and save. So, look, the Vice, was it impactful? Absolutely. Burned it about 20 seconds off the clock and really slowed ARF team going down through A main. But what was even better than that was the Breach and Astra utility to follow up once ARF team did try and make their way up A.
Had him completely trapped, right? Stuck in elbow, not able to even, no, not even able to get into elbow, right? And then in the end, there was a little bit of a panic where they shot the relay bolt back onto themselves. So, ARF, yeah, again, charging themselves rent.
Yeah. Outlaw's still there for Twilight. He did pop the Hunter's Fury at some point. I don't even remember that happening, to be honest. So, Kylie, going to bring the Vandal into the next round and see what he can get done with it. If he can get a pick, he can activate that Neural Theft. Once again, it's the same setup. Sheer, Vine, and Arc Rose. Going to be hard to get up through A main. Rest of the boys from ARF team grouped up in towards B and just going to force Cruise off the site for now.
There.
Just trying to slip the wickets here. Fost out.
Here.
Hoping for a cheeky little jewel, but popping the high gear should give the audio. And yeah, he's just tripped straight. Ripping his head off. And ARF, despite getting this spike planted, you know, they're not finding many opportunities. Hopefully Kylie's able to find something. The Neural Theft is used, but Nia's already getting in towards that position. And look how far away Kylie is right now. Has to try and get back in the market. Woody has to buy time. Hits a great shot, but there's Nia. It's going to be onto Kylie. Oh, goodness, Grimbus me. Nia with the 4K. He's so damn sharp.
Yeah, he's good on the Neon as well, whereas I was pointing it out before. Forced Out only swapped over to the Neon recently. Previously, they were playing Raze on this map and Gecko. Now they're playing Sova Neon, which is a bit more of a popular composition, especially with how solid the Neon has been in the current meta. But
I was thinking
Forced
back
Out,
to...
he's not...
It was really only Boom that was playing the Raze mainly. Everyone else is pretty much playing Neon, right?
Maybe it's an Indo thing because, you know, Ray4C loves to spam the Raze. Forced Out was not playing the Neon on this map either, so maybe the Indos just were not rating the Neon in their local scene, but that is a story for another time. Up in towards elbow, the Neon fight goes the way of Nia, catches a fault line, gonna keep himself alive with the fast lane. Forget about staying alive. Mad's going on the front foot. The rest of ARF team zoned back by the Vice utility once again. Sheer goes up, but beautiful. Yeah, Kylie just going absolutely huge. Beautiful breach util to force Yes I Can out as well. And somehow ARF team have momentarily got a man advantage. Twilight's going to try to turn that back around. What a 3K. Incredible spray down from him inside elbow. Ridiculous stuff from Fancy United. That round was just chaos right from start to finish. The fighting just never really stopped or settled.
Yeah, Nia with the 2K.
Oh, bro, they they wanted to slow it down, but they just never got the opportunity to do so.
Hang on. Nia's 8-2. It's just hero momentum. Yes, I can also have the 3K in that single round too, so everyone's just getting a piece of the pie.
Oh boy. Well, out comes the overdrive. Forced out, going to try to pick up the pace. The reactive utility isn't enough to keep him back, but punished once again by the Nebula. Tyler's found a pick in the meanwhile. Neural Theft gets popped again. He's got it up once again so quickly. Nathan's found a pick onto the B site, and our team's going to try to get that plant down.
Yes, I can though. Trying to be consistent here, popping down that utility. Foxy able to find another, so Fancy is still well and truly in this, and that's some of the weapons gone. Knight and Woody only with the Sheriffs. It should be a nice one. The Arc Rose does get popped. They do gather some info off the back of it. Knows that most members are stuck onto the site. Twilight will hit the shot, and so will Foxy. This is just brutality, decimation, murder on the dance floor. 6 rounds now for Fancy collected, and even when there's just show something. Kylie is literally trying to put the guys in, kicking and screaming, dragging them to the party that they want to stay home and play Valorant, but they're not being allowed.
Yeah. I mean, Kylie's doing his best. Credit where credit's due. Tack timeout for ARF team. Steel Gardens online here for Yes I Can. So, for ARF team, money definitely an issue for them, but this is something that you have to consider now that there's Steel Gardens there. They might have to spend a little bit of money on the sidearms. Sometimes you want to be buying yourself a Sheriff or buy yourself a Shorty, something like that, so that when the Steel Garden does come up, you have something to do. And it's much easier said than done when you have control of your economy, when you have a lot of cash, but when you're a little bit more strapped for cash like ARF team are, because they've just been going from buy to buy and unfortunately have ended up 0-6 in this game, they might not be able to afford a lot of those sidearms. So we'll see if that interaction does come on in here. For ARF team though, A-main's been a pretty big issue. It's felt like they've been able to get out on B a little bit easier. Shoving through market has had pretty mixed success, but especially out B main, they've been able to get themselves into a lot of afterplants. See if that's something they want to go for again. In fact, this time they're going to go back towards this A site. And Fancy are reading this as a big set play. They recognize the success that ARF team has had over there, but ARF team, they're just going to take this fight head on. They don't want to be bullied by this Vice Util anymore. They're just going to send it straight up A, and that's going to end up being the right call here.
Yeah, just leaving that single Razorvine, which isn't going to do a whole lot. Obviously, if they've got the shear, which, you know, may do something, but surely Fostow's going to try and bait that out. At least it'll just buy a little bit of additional timing. At least Fostow goes in. Nia's trying to find that clutch. Does get the trip down. It's just so close. Like, all really Nia wants to try and do is just keep them entertained, keep them interested.
Bro.
But he's run out of everything now.
Steel Garden is right there. Plant's only now just going down. It's a 5-on-5 retake. Vine comes up. Drone goes in. Spots out one of these players on the side. In comes the ultimate.
How long are they going to wait? Give it just enough time, and it should catch a whole bunch of players jamming up those weapons. Now as they look to try and fight on in. Yes, I can get one and another. Woody, though, able to deny. Now looking to swing on in. It's a 2 versus 2. Twilight and Foxy. Foxy looking real good. So much. Has to try keep kicking. Has to try keep working. And Foxy absolutely will deny. Fancy United, 7 on the trot in a row, uncontested. A couple of rounds have gone down to 2 and 1 alive, but outside of that has just been Fancy all the way. There's a method to this madness, and we are seeing it right here now on Sunset.
Yeah, ARF team just took way too long to get into that A site and get themselves established in that post plant. And that's where Fancy United, they had the set play down middle, overdrive with the Sova dart. You had Nia sent straight through the middle of the map, and then they just relied on their A site retake, and that's where a lot of these big ults are, you know, the Reckoning. There's all these AoE ults in Valorant that are great for the retake, and the Steel Garden, you know, it's just another one of them. Woody was left with nothing but a classic on the site, and credit where credit's due. Man's insane and still got one, but regardless, ARF team are still down 0-7. They're going to try a bit more of a contact approach, walking straight into Twilight. Pressure on him now, forced off by the flashpoint. He's going to reply with a dart.
Goes back in. If he manages to slip the wicket, he gets a shot there somehow. How? Thought he might have been able to find a little bit of additional time, but the fault line does catch him, so well done. Finally an advantage going the way of ARF team. There is the
Spike
Rolling Thunder
planted.
available, though, for Foxy.
They've had more success on this B site for sure, but being kept back and disrupted by Util going to be hard to get back into the market here. Woody gets off the
timing.
line though. That is a good entry here from Yes I Can to start to even up the numbers.
Yeah, absolutely. Another frag. To throw down that Razor Vine, and now the Rolling Thunder coming in. The Paranoia does catch. Timing does burn down a little bit more, but with that ultimate connecting, Yes I Can gets his second in the round. All onto Kylie. Again, how many times do we continue to have to say it, Pilski? I feel like I'm going insane at this point, but he hits the shot, and now he just needs one more. Yes I Can. Gotta hold on. They do get the tag, and all he needs to do is just get off of it and try and find it, but it's Kylie. Finally, the team gets it done, and it's this hatted man who just continues to punch upwards despite getting kicked and pushed and thrown around. He wants to bring the team into the modern day here on Sunset.
Bro's just got his third neural theft of the game, I'm pretty sure, in like 8 rounds. That's how many multi-frags this guy's been hitting. Just ridiculous. I mean, talk about hats. That's 3 hats, isn't it? It's a bloody fantastically reviewed restaurant at this point. Like, Kylie, he's on some fine dining-ish right now. 13 and 6. 1-4 coming out here for ARF team. Again, they only seem to find success getting into the B side, so why mess with it if it's been working?
I'm out of here. Shock!
Off your feet!
Straight in.
Go, go,
Looking
go!
to shift up that pace that's sort of been lacking on them a little bit. Twilight, though, is going to be defended again. Fostow can't quite do it, but Nathan, Kylie getting in again. Site secured. No spike plant, though, just yet. The Vice not too far away of Yes I Can. Cruz also in position to try and deny. Kylie, though, this time spotted. He has been the linchpin, the impactful member. Yes I Can, though, denied. Nathan with a 3K. All changing up, all shifting around. And finally, Awakening will be the beast they've been hibernating for this last little bit, ARF team. But finally now looking to get out of their slumber, put their pants on and show up to work. They got a job to do, and they want to make this victory happen.
Yeah, this is going to take a little bit of a lift from the rest of the boys, though. That was a good round from Nathan. But Fostow in particular, man, you're playing the most broken agent in the current meta. We need to be putting some frags together. Getting some dubs on the board here. Like I said, you know, he's only recently adopted the agent, and he's looking hyper uncomfortable on it.
Yeah.
Once again, Fancy United heavily set up inside of middle, just relying on Yes I Can to advise utility over towards A main. It's a slow defaulty round from ARF team. Just feeling things out. Drone comes through from Twilight. Woody ready with the reactive utility. He's thinking about an aftershock here, diving straight down middle. The relay bolt does pick up Fostow, but still, it's in the favor of Fancy United. The rest of the kills coming through as well. Over on the A side of the map, missed the one in tiles, and Foxy's going to close it out. The mid crunch is beautiful from Fancy United, 8 and 2, and I think that's another reset on ARF team's economy here, Mitch.
And it is, and it's just that focus point where, right, you can never put the blame onto one individual. No chance at all, right? Woody's been quiet, so Scar. But Fostow, 0 and 10 on a Neon who needs to be at the forefront, needs to be entering in and getting those opening picks. You know, you look at the impact from players like you saw John Olsen, you saw Danby getting all of that control, especially on a map like Sunset. And when your Neon is absent, it just makes it so damn hard. So despite getting 2 back into it here, Fancy 8 on the board. They are looking so good here, so much control. And now as ARF try to shift in towards B, they've only got the pistols to do it, as you mentioned. Slowly walking on out, looks like, yeah.
Gonna spot them, and they're just walking into the crossfire that is Twilight and Cruz. These guys have been absolute lights out, holding B. Finally getting involved, but yeah, it's just down to Scar in a 1-on-3 with the Sheriff. Knee up, buying time, sliding across once again. Here's the TP inside of the smoke. Relay ball's going to connect, and they're just going to run him down. 9 and 2 for Fancy. And look, diving into the stats right now for Fostow. All time, 45 games of Raze, 19 games of Jet, 3 games of Neon in officials, and then 1 in the last 90 days. So yeah, definitely not a agent he's super comfortable on, unfortunately. But if you're a duelist in current meta and you're not playing Neon, it's yeah, not good.
That's the thing about the trials and tribulations and the shift of this game that is Valorant, right? They're going to shift up again. Fancy trying to get in aggressive. Foxy will find that opening.
Not ready yet.
Darkrose is going to be popping though. Try and find a little bit of extra control, but it's Woody. Oh no, Fostow taken down, but Cruz, he's going to get spotted as well. Will be able to catch. No, it is going to be Scar. Yeah. And you know what I say about that 3-9 scoreline? Cursed. We'll find out shortly to see if they can bring it back.
Just swapping in.
Fancy United very much leading the charge here, Pilski. But again, the cursed scoreline could be upon us. ARF got a little bit of resurgence in the last few rounds, but a lot of work to do if they want to try to take this series.
Yeah, we'll see how Fancy makes his comp work on attack. Had a great game plan on defense that ARF team did not have an answer for. Big fight and contest over middle. Woody hooks the flashpoint and they dive straight through the Nebula. The reactive util from Fancy United is way too good. They're so far ahead, punishing all of those players as soon as they step into middle and finding themselves a 3-man advantage in the pistol.
Poor Kylie's just sitting there again going, where's my team? They're all gone. No one's fault directly, right? You know, everyone's trying to... That was a team effort. There was a sort of idea behind that play. But again, you know, Fancy just read it like a book and they were able to find it. So this just seems like an impossible round for the retake. Fancy still looking 100% it though.
Not ready yet.
And they're going to get that spike planted shortly. Maybe we'll see a duel from Scar. But that's about it.
Yeah.
One enemy
Trying to miss
remaining.
it through the Nebula. Instantly punished by Cruz. And Kylie.
Spike
Man's been
planted.
trying his absolute best this game. But not much to do here other than farm up some multiple points and pad the stats a little more. Why not? He deserves it. He's been playing well.
Yeah, he's worked hard. Give him a little bit of extra dosh. Work into that next one. Arc Rose popped, won't connect. Now they're just sort of looking. They're already running towards him as well. Nia's getting up close and personal. And that run and gun with the frenzy will be enough to drop him. 4 alive, Fancy. 3 rounds away from success. And again, from what we saw in the opening 2 series, double overtime in maps 1 and 2. So, Haven and Abyss certainly looking a little bit different to Sunset. I'll hold my questioning. We shouldn't see a response here. ARF doesn't look like they want to force into it. They'll just buy a couple of sheriffs and then they'll have that first gun round up against 311. But I don't know, man. Fancy, they've seemed to worked out the recipe this time. They've added enough salt.
I mean, if anyone's feeling a little salty, it's probably going to be ARF team the way that this game's going, to be fair.
Too much MSG.
Yeah. Twilight, though. He's got a little bit of a delicious prospect on his hands. Maybe not that interested, though. Drone just going to push half team away after a little bit of pressure outside A main here. Going to spot out at least 2 players. A little shocky to keep him interested. Cam here for Kylie. Spotting this B main line. Man's got a sheriff in hand. Star behind him. Fancy just going to pick up the pace straight into B main here. He's playing the off angle beautifully there. Nice little sheriff
Great
tap to
shot.
start things off.
Yeah. Really, really nicely done. Arc Rose goes out though, and Kylie's going to be punished for being there as a part of it all. Up nice and close. Couple of sheriffs still left. Maybe some shots to be hit, but I mean, upgrade for Twilight. He's up very close. Good shot from Nathan. Didn't quite connect on the razor vines there. Fostow, though, making something work here. Okay, maybe there's a chance. Foxy. Yes, I can. They can hold on for a little bit longer. The razor vine does make it a bit awkward for Foxy. He actually might go down to Woody here, but no. He's on for the 3K. Yes, I can to close the round. And Fancy with 11-3. Final chance here for ARF team. Full buy about to come out. They've got to show us what they've got if they want to drag it all the way back to another map win.
Yeah. They've never been this far down, though. It's been a pretty back-and-forth series so far. So, look, given the benefit of the doubt, I'd love to see them win the bonus, maybe pick up a bit of momentum, pick a few gun rounds up, but
Okay. No
it's going to be very difficult to get back into the game at this point.
There.
fight over A main from both teams. Our team positioned well. Flashpoint pushing Woody off the line inside elbow. Scar started off things beautifully. That's going to be the Neon hitting the deck, and they're choosing to aggress forward, but Cruz is making them pay for that. Luckily, Woody safely cleaned up the rest of them on only 60 HP. If he went down, that could have gotten a little bit spicy for ARF team, but after clearing out that lurk in middle, they're going to win themselves a pretty clean anti-bonus and keep 3 guns up here and just keep trotting along.
Yeah, Woody definitely went a little bit AWOL for a short while there, but he seems to have found his buzz. Hopefully trying to get back into this one, but, you know, Fancy can kind of throw that one by the wayside. No ultimates on lock for ARF. And I'm thinking it looks to be quite a close set play here, Pilski. They are going to be looking to battle straight into this one. Quick pace from Fostow. Is he going to be able to take this control? They pulled the plug. They don't want to borrow this, Fancy.
No, they're just going to walk back towards middle. Trip up towards top mid here. It's a full retake B setup. Shifting in terms of the rotations now that Scar's got this info line over on elbow. Refreshing the one-way. Fancy not budging an inch, just posted up inside tiles, which indicates to me that they probably want to go and retake this A space. Drone goes forward. Any second now. Just to be able to push out Scar. Maybe Neo will look to follow up as well. Gravwell does catch him in combination with the fault line, but Neo vulnerable now. Can't quite push things any further forward and shouldn't have, actually. Gets hit by the end of Cruz Gravwell, and he gets made mincemeat or forced down now on the off angle, doing great work on the Neon. That's a key multi-frag, Mitch.
Yeah, really sort of getting his wriggle on, finding that momentum that's been missing now, leaving just Cruz and Foxy all on their lonesome. Such an awkward line to try and fight there. Foxy does get one, but it's traded nicely. Now all onto Cruz, can drop the Nebula, but there is the dark cover. I think there was a little bit of a spot there, but the 1v4 just feels impossible to win. Woody, though, straight into the crosshair. That was a little bit of an overstep there, not really necessary. Our drone will come up, narrowly misses the shoulder, can destroy it now. But yeah, really, it's just about buying that time. 18 bullets in the chamber. They're playing the high-low here. They're playing the 100%. I mean, look, Spike's almost gettable, but 12 seconds, there's just nothing that they can do. So it's just going to be a walk away from Cruz. They can use this time to talk it out and see what's happening into the next round here. But again, you know, ARF, it's slow, it's sure, but there's something that's being put together. 5 rounds, 6 to go before they tie it up. Won't count them out, but again, it's just it's such a hard prospect. You have to be so mentally sound to continue forth in a round difference like this.
Yeah, just working it all the way through, 1 round at a time. Vandalama brought into this round courtesy of Cruz, one off the Rolling Thunder and Cosmic Online. Fancy United will take a timeout. Discuss what to do at this potential juncture. I think it's been a lot of fighting over A thus far and a little bit of B execute. Haven't really seen too much mid pressure for Fancy. So yeah, we'll see how they make this work. Like I said, the Vice, it's a little bit more obvious what to do with that on the defense, and there's so many great setups for it. On attack, I think, you know, the Arc Rose is something that you can use to clear map control. You can pop it into B main, and if you don't get the sound cue, you know that there's probably no one there. You can use it to re-clear mid, things like that. So I'm keen to see how Fancy starts to make that work for themselves, because, you know, they've got plenty of rounds to close this game, Mitch, and they can't just keep jamming A main for the rest of the game. Like, there's got to be other things that they've got prepped here.
Yeah, definitely. A team of their caliber needs to have plans, needs to have opportunities. And, you know, when you've got an agent composition like this, clearly the strat book has to run a little bit deeper than normal. So it's going to be that mid presence this time. They lean away from the A spot. As you mentioned, plenty of rounds to close this out. But the more that they lose, the weaker the mental becomes. And just with the pistols here, yeah.
Nebula Arc Rose to clear mid. Nice and easy.
Deploying drone.
Nathan spotting out Neo. Gonna keep himself tucked comfortably inside market, hand in hand with Kylie Scar on this deep A main line. Neo on the breach, ready to rotate wherever they need to in the middle of the map right now. And Fancy not in a rush to be going anywhere. They're in a 1-3-1. Evaluating their options. A little bit of pressure on the B side of the map from Yes I Can. And Fancy now trying to once again catch Scar on this timing, but both the Breach and the Neon are here to lend him a little bit of support if the pressure comes in.
Clearing around that corner. Not quite the catch from the fault line. We'll get some information, but he's able to pop his way out now. Nia trying to get aggressive, but great shot. Scar has really been opened up in this map now so far, hitting some really, really good ones. Now we just see a wild Fostow getting his second in the round, finally leaning into this Neon. It's a 6th. Obviously, again, just the pistol round, not too much to think about, but, you know, outside of that mid presence there, Pilski, you know, it wasn't much different. It was still that lean back towards A and a little lackluster.
Yeah, it's Scar, credit where credit's due, has been playing positionally perfect on elbow, doing exactly what you want to be seeing from him, just securing that one-way info line and then, you know, absorbing all of that utility and getting out for free, even getting himself a couple of picks once the attackers scale up. Elbow, forced out, starting to get a little bit more active. Arcros in middle once again. As Nia walks up, they're going to pop it, as well as a Nebula towards top middle. A main control, once again, taken by ARF team, and one way's been established, but this is where Fancy are going to change the pace. Nia forcing things up through spawn, going to try to make his way towards this B site, but Kylie's all over it here, Mitch.
Continues to be the man, the hero that the side of ARF team needed. He will get taken down, though, by Yes I Can. Traded out by Nathan. Now into position. Cruz trying to connect with something. Nathan gets another, though, so it's again a quick wash. And now this is where the gap starts to close. 4 rounds now, only the difference. I feel like a broken clock, but they all tick up slowly. This one, it's only got a select few numbers on it. And, yeah, Fancy's losing their own watch.
Yeah, off. Really solid defense so far after losing the pistol, anti-bonus, and all of the rounds since have been clean as hell. Overdrive's ready there. Fancy try to change things up, send Nia straight up the guts through the middle of the map, and it doesn't work at all. Now ARF team trying to defend this half by. Out comes the fast lane, straight in towards this elbow control yet again. Overdrive's there for Nia. But Fancy United are going to temper themselves a little bit more this time, Mitch. They're going to secure control of elbow. Go back and try to keep the rotations honest by working mid a little bit. Nebula comes in towards top middle. Drone clearing mid for Nathan. Where do Fancy end here, though?
Yeah. Elbow secured. A little bit of a different positioning from Scar.
One way on short. Fancy with this elbow control are going to end towards A. And once again, it's the usual suspects. Mid cleared by the dart. It's going to make ARF team feel quite comfortable, the fact that they've stacked up towards A here, and this is a nice off angle from Scar.
Really good flash to force him away, though. Nebula also goes up. So just avoiding that one way, allowing themselves some safe passage in towards the site. They've got all of these ultimates, Mitch. Nia can try to open up the bank account, dropping down Woody, and now it's going to be the overdrive versus the overdrive. Who can connect? Who can get the fight as the Steel Garden comes out as well? Nia looking to keep kicking, looking to keep continuing as well. Does have another high gear to pop if he wants to use it. Now Kylie looking to get back onto that line. He's still kicking forward, but Kylie gets the trade back. 4 on 3. Pistols only to try and secure this round. The dart will be destroyed, and now they look to get close. It's Nathan dropping Twilight. Now the Rolling Thunder starts to come out, and it catches absolutely everyone. Foxy connects with a shot, still alive, but no HP. And it's Kylie and Scar to take the round through again. ARF get 8. I mean, look, it was just the pistols from Fancy, but they're 3 away now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great attempt there by Fancy. Got themselves onto the site. Things were starting to get interesting. That was a huge pick from Nia. And look, even, what was that again? A 5 on 3 for Fancy United that they couldn't close. Really nice retake from ARF team all night long. Their retakes on defense have been phenomenal, Mitch.
I just feel like maybe Nia, you know, was calling the pull there, you know, looking like he was pretty keen to try and continue the fight, try to force them away, at least buy some additional time for the team. But by falling back, they got baited out a little bit, and it didn't quite work out for them. So Fostow really keen to try and get some early control information here and just securing that orb for now. But Twilight will have a close watch onto it.
Yeah, 1-3-1 from Fancy, working the middle of the map first. Arc Road's already been deployed. Yes, I can. Dropped off in a pretty deep and aggressive position that could let him activate in the mid-round. Fancy United, once again, you've got the drone and the Neon in position, the Sova and the Neon rather, and out comes the drone to push Scar off of the line. Trying to keep that information game honest, but yeah, that's Yes I Can. Up top middle, doesn't get caught by the fault line. Almost gets caught in transition. In
Oh,
fact, he
no.
will. And once again, Scar has won the duel onto Nia over on elbow side. The man just does not lose in this position. Look at how well he's playing this.
And you can just see the mental boom that's happening right now, right? You know, not being able to hit those shots. Yes, I can, tapping away.
Hold
Cruz,
on.
though, does get one back, so it's a 3-on-3. Now maybe doable. Nathan's in a fantastic position. 35 seconds left on the clock, but I think...
Oh, no.
he doesn't quite connect with it. All right, it's okay. It's safe for now. Twilight
30 seconds
trying to
left.
get back in towards this position. He might find the timing. This could be massive if he does. Woody looks like he slipped away and now getting into this space. 20 seconds left. And it's going to be all on to Nathan to see what he can do.
Oh, he's perfectly positioned. Cognizant of the fact that the
No
flank
time.
may come in from spawn. 10 seconds. Will Foxy
10
get
seconds
caught on the
left.
cross? He's turned away to check spawn. Foxy, that is a timing and a half. Spike going down now. Twilight has not been spotted by ARF team. They don't know he's so deep in spawn, and he's going to catch Woody on the off angle. Scar now in a 1-on-2. Untenable situation for him. Both flashpoints and an aftershock there from Foxy, and Twilight's just going to play the off angle.
Does have the paranoia, does have the shrouded steps in hand if he needs them. But yeah, again, trying to find the middle of it, trying to find those 1v1s. Twilight just keeping him entertained. Taps onto the defuse, but he's not going to be looking. And that's Foxy. Finally, a hero that they needed. They needed someone to step up to the plate and bring the team forward. And it was Foxy all on his lonesome, finding that pick outside of B, finding the space additionally. And also Twilight to be able to slip that wicket and find a top mid control. Heroes individually.
Yeah, and just some bad timings going against ARF team there. That should have been their round every day of the week, but unfortunately, with such a slow start, all it's going to take is a slip-up or two to lose this game of Sunset here. Once again, a main fight on the cards here. Nia sending it straight up in there, but doesn't like the way that util looks. The relay bolt and the fault line both catch him, but he's going to be able to get out. Disengage from A main, so that will be forfeited in the favor of ARF team for now. Arc Rose is in middle. Fancy are going to be able to re-clear that space. Out comes the drone. Spots out two. Aftershock trying to catch Twilight there in the backside. Nia missing.
Nia.
Onto Nathan,
There.
who's found multiple picks from market side. And forced down now. This isn't a Cypher comp. He can push A if he wants to. But Fancy are organizing themselves for the B push.
Kylie's actually to left. Well, now it's the one way on the cyber cage, but Twilight, he's going to be able to find Woody in the process. Kylie, again, we're going to call for you. We're going to ask for you once more to step up to the plate and see what you can do, because Twilight, well, he's slipped the net. He's got in towards this position, and they're for all the call, all the info. Is he going to hear the footsteps from Foster? Yes, he is. But Kylie, I talk about him again and again and again. He continues to do it, and now the paranoia of yes, can Scar will hold on for the team. 12-9, 3 to go, and the economy once again dissipates for Fancy.
Yeah, honestly, this game, it's really like Kylie locking down B. Scar is so positionally perfect on the A side of the map. It just really doesn't feel like Fancy can get anywhere. And then when they're walking through the middle of the map, half the time, Nathan's just peeking out market and finding picks. Like ARF, not really making too many mistakes. Unfortunately, they're still one away from losing the game, and this half buy could still get it done. Creep up in B main.
I must wait a
Not
moment.
spotted by Kylie. Cam gets cleared though, so knows that there's at least 1 or 2 players in towards B.
Cage triggered.
Can he do it again? It's going to be all onto this, but he's taken. That is a massive scalp here to be found from Nia. And now Nathan has to fall away, wait for the rest of his team. The Cosmic Divide goes down to try and hold it on here, Pilski. They all want to try and fight this fight. There is information gathered from the scan, and now it's that ultimate. Now it's that utility all going around, but it is going to be Nathan. Somehow kicking and screaming, but Woody, Scar, Felstow, all doing it. Twilight has to be the hero. He has to be the king, and it will be the clutch, but can he find the timing? No, he's not. How do you live there? How do you hold that? How do you have the mental capacity, Nathan, to stick that damn defuse? But he doesn't, and ARF keep kicking on.
What a util combo on the retake, Mitch. Rolling Thunder and the Hunter's Fury across the backside of the site in combination.
One enemy remaining.
forced out diving back into the site, and Twilight, so many heroics in this game, including a right hook to the
my
face of Nathan at the end.
What more
But
can he
still,
do?
I mean, yeah, ARF team are staying alive. Into round 23 though here, Mitch. Dart onto elbow, and he has secured that control once again.
I'm out of here.
Fancy. They're just going to kick it off. They're going to head straight into the side. Twilight, he's got another Hunter Screw off the back of that multi-frag. Catches absolutely nothing though. And ARF team once again going to trust their rock solid retakes to secure this round.
They're all here, man. This is going to be chaos. Carnage on the site. We're all for it. This game is absolutely that. It's living up to the expectations we demand. Spike planted. And now Twilight managing to slip the neck. Cruz will drop down fast. Now Twilight. And it's Kylie with one. Nia does manage to drop two, but Nathan in the clutch. He's got it by an overtake 3. Drops the drone, but that is going to be it. It is not going to be the comeback. It is not going to be the dream. Instead, it will be Vietnam on top.